Been rolling here almost.
We're about to be. Why is none of that?
Yeah. Just checking. Standing by. Da da da. Da 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 da.
Oh, that's why. Hold on.
Oh, you have to turn on the camera?
Yeah, that would help, wouldn't
Hey,
it?
well, cameras are good. Hey, both of them, I guess, probably, huh?
Plug them in.
Now we're talking. Okay, there we go. All right, stand by. Stand by. Da 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 da. And okay, checking.
We should do a photo thing where the three of us are standing like it's like Devo or it's a communist thing. We're all looking up into the, giving the sun the glad eye.
Post, yeah.
Like Lenin and Marx.
I love it. Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Yeah, it's completely dark here.
No,
Oh.
I forgot to plug stuff in. That's why none of this.
Okie dokie.
God, listen to this. Come on, guys, get going.
All right, we'll get there, Varian. Thank you. I guess he lost the lottery on the time start. Oh, well.
Are you rolling?
We're rolling and ripping?
Yes, we are.
And we got YouTubing and rumbling.
YouTube is not working at the moment.
YouTube is not working. All right, sir.
It's totally black. Is there something in front of it?
It'll...
Hi, little boy.
We're black. And
Well, I identify
Proud.
as black.
we're proud.
Soul brother. When's the last time you heard that phrase?
Yeah. How about
30, 40 years?
blue-eyed devil is what
Well, there you are. No YouTube?
Yeah, it's all dark.
Working on it.
Okay. Well, should we?
Well, go ahead.
Shall we start
Paul.
without
We're
it?
good. We're good.
Yeah,
It's
go.
going to take a minute for him to register, but we're
Okay. All right. So we're okay. Anyway, hello, and greetings. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer Show podcast. It is number 537. As we speak, it's Monday, the 13th of March, 2023, with Pete Davis, sidekick producer and sports raconteur extraordinary. I assume, holy crap, it's sports later on today?
Yeah, I didn't. I was going to do it at midnight this morning. And I'm
take
glad
a
I
break.
waited because a lot of stuff has happened. The Falcons trades and stuff like that. So
Oh, and
it's
I didn't hear. Well, we'll talk
nothing
about that.
major.
Yeah, I didn't think so. They haven't got a new. Now, what about getting a quarterback?
They got a quarterback.
Well, they're going to get another one. They're going
At
to
some
trade.
point, they gotta get
They
somebody.
better do something. They got a rookie starting,
Yeah.
or a 2-year guy. So
2-year
anyway,
guy, yeah.
We'll talk about it. Best sportscast in and podcast in America. Holy crap! It's sports with Pete Davis, the mechanical angler, flounder at the controls here at El Condo Flounder with Kitty Cat. Although he's not socializing much with us today. He's just snooping around, and he'll be here. We'll
Everybody
get some pictures
says
later.
YouTube's working except mine. Mine's
Well,
not.
there
It
you
doesn't
are.
matter. Doesn't matter if mine is.
All right, we have many surprises. Hold on. We got total topics of things. I actually did watch about 6 minutes of the Oscars last night, mostly the beginning, and then I did some checking and a million other things we'll talk about here. But first, now Flounder's fixing.
Go, keep
We're-
talking.
Okay. First of all, a couple of quick Venmo thank yous, if you don't mind. Our number one single-handed supporter, Denise, is once again showed up with a happy K9 Veterans Day. Also, Ken Day. Ken, like a Barbie doll, Ken Day? I guess so. Or maybe people named Ken, I don't know. Napping Day after daylight saving
that
time
today?
begins. Yeah. Napping Day. Now, Denise, I'm sorry to say you wrote after daylight savings time begins. There's no S on the end of savings. Savings is what you put in the bank.
Denise?
Daylight saving is a participial dangling infinitive gerund split participle.
Denise can call it whatever she feels
Yes,
like.
she can because she single-handedly supports us. She says it's also Smart and Sexy Day. God bless Denise. Well, isn't that sweet? Lana, I've sent several cheeseburgers also. Thank you, Lana. And by the way, Denise, the other day did another Happy Barbie Day, Get Over It Day, Slam the Scam Day, and World Kidney Day. My God, woman. You're going way that's fantastic.
What are you
Thank
supposed to do for Kidney Day?
I don't know. Tap your kidney? I have no idea. Eat kidney pie. Maybe donate a kidney. I have no idea. A couple many little goofy things. Daylight saving time is in effect now. Do you have any problems over a Sunday night or Saturday night or Sunday or
No,
day or
not
anything?
really. Out in the country, it just all blends together.
Is it really dark out there at night? It must be
Oh my
pitch
God,
black.
it's so dark out there.
But I bet you see all the stars.
Yeah, but the thing is, we had the third major storm again.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been 3 major
Yeah, that's
storms
right.
in less
that's
than
right.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And now it's below freezing at night for a while, and then in the 50s.
It's going to be 27 tonight.
Yeah, it's a 30-degree difference in the day.
And you know why?
30.
This is the 30th anniversary.
of the
Great Blizzard
Great
of
Blizzard,
93.
93. Yeah, all right, that's right.
30
And
years.
it's the 50th anniversary of the Great Ice Storm of 73.
Which I was here for that too.
I flew in the chopper with Jimmy Carter and watched it from above. I remember all that stuff.
We were out. We literally was living off the chimney in the fireplace for a week and put our food outside.
Yeah.
It was that bad.
And we were in a chopper looking at it from above. And I was a radar reporter up there with Governor Carter, and it looked like a chandelier. It was beautiful and scary how much damage it caused, because everything was covered. I mean, phone poles, trees, mailboxes, car, everything. If it was outside, it was solid ice.
And 30 years ago, it was on a weekend, and I was producing at WGST, and Jack Kennedy stumbled in, and they were supposed to hit at midnight. It's supposed to hit at 3. It's supposed to hit at 5, and I kept calling Mike Stennifer, the Weather Channel, going, where is he? He goes, it's coming. Just wait, it's coming. I said, you told me it's not coming. It's not coming. And all of a sudden, about 6 or 7 o'clock, the winds went sideways, and it came, and poor Jack was stuck. He had to do the auto show, the garden show, his show, everything for like 2 days. Had to do the shows. And Howard Gunter got in there, and he was stuck too. There's only like 4 or 5 of us that were stuck there for 2 days. Couldn't get out.
I was still married, the final wife, and living up now, Fred. And I guess I didn't. I forgot it started on a weekend. I can't remember what happened that month. Whether I must have.
Was that the early '90s snowstorm?
Yeah,
93.
Yeah, I was coming back from Daytona. And we got caught right in the middle. We were in Valdosta when, it was bad. And we made it home, and I had to stay at my friend's for 4 days because my parents couldn't get to the house because it was just iced. Yeah. We got lucky as hell making it all the way home.
Yes, you did.
We were starving. We emptied the vending machine.
Yeah.
So we decided Sunday morning, Taco Mac had opened up the end of Far Road.
No kidding.
And a few other people had scrambled in there, so there was about 10 of us at this point. And we decided Jack and I are going to walk up. It was about a mile, not even a mile, up Far Road.
Yeah.
And then the wind's still blowing, and it's still going on, and we're going up the road. We're in the middle of the road, and seriously, the snow drift is 3 feet of snow drifts and stuff at this point.
Yeah.
And we hear this. I'm like, can you hear that? And he goes, what? Can you hear? There's something coming. And over the hill crested a MARTA bus. And it was like a train throwing the snow to the side. And we both had to run and dive for the sidewalk, or it was going to run over us. And then we got to Taco Mac, and we stayed there for 3 hours drinking before we brought the food back.
Oh, Lordy. I'd totally forgotten about that. 30 years?
Oh, one more thing.
Yes.
They put us up at a hotel across. There's a motel across the street, if you remember. A little bitty motel.
I don't remember.
Down
From the bunker?
A little bit,
Far Road, yeah.
And we got there, and Howard Gunter was supposed to be in there about an hour or two after we got up there.
Oh, my God.
So Jack and I got up early, and we took all the snow and ice and piled it up in front of his door and froze him in. And he was about 2 hours late. And we go, Howard, where you been? And he's like,
Whoa.
some son of a bitch blocked my door with snow and ice. I was frozen in.
Oh, mercy. Anyway, well, it's still winter. I mean, spring is, so we got till the 21st, is it? March 21st?
And it snowed in April here.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. We're not done. Anyway, Flounder, any residual after effect of getting up early on the first Monday after daylight saving time starts?
Not really.
Same.
Because what I did is on Saturday, when I got home, I went and hung out with my dad for a little bit. When I got home around 5:30, I went ahead and adjusted my clocks.
Yeah.
I did it. I usually
do it
do
the afternoon before.
Yeah.
So.
In my car and everything. So, I mean,
we're out.
In fact, I tease my kids because I always warn them at least 3 or 4 days in advance. And then on Saturday, I warn them. And my daughter, Sarah, beat me to the final warning before. And now she's so proud that she beat Daddy to warning about daylight saving time, which I thought was fairly amazing. But I'm not used to putting the flag out later in the morning on the deck because it's darker tomorrow. So no big deal. I didn't feel any residual effects from the changing of the clock. I had losing an hour of sleep, but it may be I've discovered another. I was going to do a Kimmer cooking segment today. Mm-hmm. I had a hankering to make one of my famous Kimmer salads, where I take a head of iceberg lettuce, I cut it in half, wash it good and clean, and I take the good. I throw away all the dark green leafy stuff and take the good chunky heart stuff center, and I take that and cut it up and chop it up. I make tuna fish and put that, and then I take chopped egg. I make a hard-boiled egg, chop that up, and then big chunks of Havarti cheese and onion and celery, and I make a big hearty either with chicken or a tuna fish Cobb salad.
That's
basically.
a meal. That's not
Yeah,
a
it's
salad.
a meal. No, that's what I had for dinner. And so I made that last night for dinner. And I had, the only dressing I had was blue, which I use is a chunky blue cheese, which was fine. And all of a sudden I realized, and I was a little nervous because as I'm getting older, all of a sudden I'm finding things that I just can't digest properly anymore. And one of them is salad dressing.
Aww.
Up all night, baby. so
Well, it
now
depends on.
for
It's
sharing.
got to be the what kind of salad dressing.
Well, well, what I normally do is I take a little Italian, like house Italian or something, and wrap it up, and I take a little Italian just to get everything sort of moist, the whole bowl moist, and then I use either chunky blue cheese or chunky ranch or something, and mix
cheese.
it
Yeah,
in
it's the
together.
blue cheese and the ranch.
Well, anyway,
It's
but
the blue
until
cheese.
last night I've been able to do that, and all of a sudden now
Right.
I can't have my famous
Okay.
Kimmer salads, which
Well, maybe
I freaking love.
Maybe it was a particular brand
I
of the
don't
blue
know.
cheese.
Okay. Kimmer oversharing about what went on with his bowels. Brought to you by Atlanta Custom Closets. That's where that story should have stayed, in the
You
closet.
notice I didn't mention anything except that I was up all night.
ClosetPro.net, 404-255-0589. That's Atlanta Custom Closets. Next time you want to tell a story like that, go into the closet.
You know, if I had an Atlanta Custom Closets, I could go in there and tell my stories. They're such a good job at what they do for you and your family.
No, not water closets.
No,
Just closets.
Just the closets. Anyway, so that's the ball game. All right, I got a million things here. Did you put them? For some reason, Rumble, well, I guess the obvious reason, Rumble and YouTube will not let me post pictures. I can post videos, but I can't post a picture. And my little friend Gretchen sent me, somehow she popped up reminder picture from years ago of me when we were on the radio station. I think you were probably still new. It was 10 years ago, 2013, literally 10 years ago, right after I'd had my heart attack. I had a heart attack on a Marine Corps birthday, went to the hospital 2 or 3 days later, had some stents in, was back on the air in 3 or 4 days, and was on the air and had that I was taking rat poison. Remember I forgot the name, the clinical name of it, but it's the famous poison you take to, it's rat poison, which they give you to make sure your arteries are clear so you don't clog your arteries. And I've been taking, well, you have to decide what's the right dose. And until we figured it out, I got nosebleeds like crazy. Crewman or Crucimin or something like that.
It's okay to take rat poison, but we couldn't take horse dewormer.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Dicervectum or whatever the hell that was. Anyway, so the rat poison, and I was on the air, and all of a sudden, wham, and I had this nosebleed. It just went everywhere. I mean, it was
horrible.
like, oh, God. And so I immediately, tried to stop it, and Kara was there. And she took out of her purse a tampon and put it in my nose.
You're really
No.
oversharing
This is
now.
funny. Well, the reason I'm saying it is because we took a picture of it and put it on the internet, and that picture popped up. I couldn't put it on Rumble, but I gave it to Flounder and you guys, and put it on Twitter because the thing, what it did was remind me that it was 2 days ago, the anniversary that Kara died.
I almost called you about that.
I know, and I almost called you and some of our friends, and
It's been a year.
It's been
That's weird. That's been a year.
on the
and 2 years for Mike.
and that picture
Feels like it was 3 or 4 months ago.
Yeah,
I don't know. It
and
seems longer.
And that picture popped up of me with her tampon from her purse to save my nosebleed, and she had died a year and 2
ago.
days before. And so I that's why I thought the picture was interesting. Just, God bless her. I mean, what a firecracker little angel she was. I mean, everybody loved Kara. She was just a handful. What a chick, man.
It seems much quieter, the world.
It does. It is. The world is much quieter. I bet there's something going on up there, though. I bet she's got a freaking conga line or something going on. I don't know. Anyway, I just for the memories. And okay, let's see. Oh, by the way, coming up, I know how much teases are important here. Coming up, so I have to do all this for you people, and then you expect me to tell you what's coming up in advance? Screw you, eat me, and mind your own beeswax, by the way. That's a new form of Kimmer tease. By the way, do you know the term beeswax, where that came from? Have you ever used that phrase? That's a real old
I did
one.
at one point, but I have forgotten.
Flounder, do you know have you ever heard the term mind your own beeswax?
Yeah, I've definitely heard it, but I'm not sure of its origin.
Well, I shall now tell you. The term beeswax actually came from, this is a font of the Kimmer brief segments of memory that actually work. And by the way, I'm forgetting things between the couch and the kitchen.
I know.
Do you do that? I swear to God, I was watching TV. I do like 9 things at a time, but I'm watching TV. I'm listening to the radio, taking notes, stuff like this, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I got to do it so-and-so. And I wait 4 seconds, finish the sentence, get up off my chair, go to the kitchen, have no freaking idea what I'm doing there.
I have noticed in the last week the strain of the flood, of having to find a place to live, the move, which was very stressful, having to stay at my sister's for a couple months and feeling bad about that. My mind is not working the way it usually does the last week or so.
Have you noticed? I'm trying not to bother you, by the way, too, because I know you must be going through hell up there by yourself in the dark of the woods.
It's peaceful now. I mean, the stress is over, but
just the process of
getting there
is
a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Anyway, what the hell was I just talking about? I swear to God,
this is just the kind of shit we've been talking about.
What the hell was I just talking about?
I don't.
But right before I forget what I'm doing, go to the kitchen. I just did it. I just forgot what I was talking about. It's 20 seconds. Oh my God. Well, let me look at my notes. Hold on. Oh my God. I did the thing with the thing.
Oh my God.
I can't believe this. All right. Well, I'll start. Oh my God. I cannot believe this. Beeswax.
Oh, damn. We were this close.
Okay.
A clean getaway.
Many years ago, like 100 years ago, whatever it was. It was very common that the disease smallpox and diseases like it were very common in early America. And what the problem was with the frontiers women and early 1800s women would find that, late 1800s too, early 1900s women would find that it left little pock marks in their face. Before the days of, the famous Helena Gazar makeup stuff, the women used to take beeswax and fill the little pores in their face.
Oh.
Now, two things. If a woman was sitting too close to the fire and the beeswax would start to melt, and her friends would say, mind your beeswax, watch your beeswax. And it would tell them that their beeswax was changing. The other problem was if somebody noticed that their beeswax was changing, and they said, and someone made a comment to them, they say, well, mind your own beeswax. And it turned out to become mind your own business. You take your beeswax, I'll take care of my beeswax. And that's how they started using mind your own business. From their using beeswax on your face. Hard to believe.
Did you watch the John Adams thing with Paul? What's his name? What's the actor? Paul
Robeson? Oh, no, he's a black guy.
No, Paul Giamatti.
Yes, the series on History Channel. Yeah, I've seen it twice, I think. They had like 4 of them.
Where he writes his wife, and basically back then they were just getting the smallpox like a vaccine thing. The doctor would come out and take a needle and prick their skin and take pus from a smallpox victim, dip it in there, and then dip it into your wound.
Unbelievable.
And that's how they vaccinated people in the 1700s.
Can you imagine? I mean,
you
must
a
have
lot
thought
of
you were
people
going to die.
Didn't want to do it.
Oh, hell,
once again,
I
it was experimental.
Wait, you're going to put his pus of this disease in my...
That's a hell of a convincing right
where'd
there.
you go to medical school again there, Simon?
And then after that, we're going to bleed you with leeches.
Oh, the bleeding and the leeches is the best way. I'd much rather have the bleeding of the leeches. Speaking of Pete's teases, because Pete
Mark
ripped me
says,
for my teases.
You have just given him information he will use the rest of his life.
All right, hold on. Now check this out. Okay, I got a message over the weekend from I got to put my thing. I got to get to the eye doctor. All of a sudden, it's just a little thing. I've had a Kathy writes in to say, tell Pete to stop being so mean to you on the show. Ha, we love your stories. And then Kathy writes back, say, I'll come up to the mountains of Macon, and get him.
The mountains of Macon.
Well, you recall I was trying to make a joke about we didn't want to know where you live, so I said he lives in the mountains near Macon. And of course, you ripped me for it and say nobody cares about.
No, it was another reason I was ripping you, but we won't say anything on the air about that. Yeah, somebody actually asked me how my commute from Macon was.
See, there you are.
You want to know what it was like?
Yeah, what was it like?
I had a blockage. I had a traffic jam on my little dirt road. I had 2 guineas in the middle of the road.
Now, they don't appreciate that kind of terminology for the members of our friends from Italy. Now, it's like you got a flat tire, you're going nuts out of wapkini. It's just not the right thing. The wapkini with the sound of the car with a flat tire. That's just wrong, sir. No, you can't call these people by names. Huh?
They're birds.
Birds.
And they're some of the dumb. My grandmother used to raise some of the dumb. They're dumber than chickens.
Guinea bird? I thought you meant guinea pigs.
No, guinea pigs.
What are guinea birds?
Guineas. They're like a lot of people like guinea eggs. It's a different, it's a smaller egg.
Are they like partridge? I don't know what a guinea is.
They're like a huge partridge. They're bigger than chickens. They're tall. And
Oh
they're
my God.
dumb. And you know what
Why
the thing
don't
is?
I know this?
They hate snakes. So I like to see. I saw 2 of them on my road today. It's like,
So do
okay.
they get snakes or run from snakes?
No, they like to
get
kill
some.
them.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, I hope they don't eat black racers though. The racers are good
Well,
snakes.
it's a snake. It's you can't talk to the guineas. They're not going to learn. It's a snake. They kill
I
it.
guess, but now, man, I'm going to look
Hey,
at a
they're
picture of a
dumb.
guinea.
You've never seen a guinea?
I'm sure I have. I guess they're like a peacock, maybe. Or they have big tails or
It's
something.
a small. It's bigger than a chicken. I'll do it right now.
I'm sure I'm having a mental block. I'm sure
I can't believe. Of course.
I'm sure I have.
Wait a minute. We're going to find it right here for you.
For
Guinea
some
hen,
reason.
right here. Going to pull it up.
Yeah, kiddo.
Pull up image. That's a guinea.
Oh yeah, I know what that. Oh yeah, okay. But I've never seen one, but I know I know what it is when I look at that. But I've never. In fact, I didn't know they were even here. I didn't know guinea.
Oh God, all over the South. Not as much, I think, as there used to be.
I've never seen a guinea as many years have I've been here, and I've never seen.
If I
a guinea.
remember, it's a smaller egg.
Huh?
Grandmother had some of them.
And are they edible? I'm guessing.
Yeah, I guess
but
you
they're
could-
wild, right?
I don't think
You
we
can
ate
find
them
one.
though. No, they're not wild. They're you keep them like
Can you raise them?
chickens.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I'll be damned. Well, there you go.
Maybe
Thank
some
you.
people eat them. I don't know.
had no idea. Let's see. Oh, I got a couple of weird things. I'm getting my car serviced, and they give me a loaner. And the loaner looks new. I didn't even look at it, and I got in and started up. It's got 102,000 miles on it. It's a 4-door
POS.
Escape something.
It's a
I don't
Ford
know what it is.
POS.
It's a POS. No, it's actually it's a nice little. I mean, I would never buy one, but it's nice. But once again, the gas tank is on the right.
Mine's on the right.
So, yeah, but they haven't done that to cars since the 50s.
What are you talking about? On the right of the passenger side.
So that when you pull into a gas station, you have to aim not to hit the pump on the right where you can't see how close you are from the tail thing to the pump. When you pull in on the left side, it's right there. You can see it right there next to you. And cars didn't have tanks on the right-hand side of the
They're
car
in the back.
since the 50s. Now, they used to put them in tail lights and under the bumpers and all kinds.
The license tag.
Yeah, the license tag had them. There were, I think, some of the Chryslers had them under the left rear tail light. The red tail light pulled down, and I mean, so there are a million ways to do it. I had when I had that hot rod built, that '55 Ford Sunliner convertible with a hot rod engine in it. The gas tank was in the trunk. You had to open up the trunk and unscrew a thing and put the tank in the thing. Anyway, the gas tank's on the right, which I think is stupid because you can never really tell how close you are to that. Anyway, whatever. I hate it. Now, let me ask you this.
All right.
And then I got a special thing coming up here. This is the second time I remember this happened and made me upset. The reason I'm talking about this is because we got 3 very nice deposits of hamburgers and cheeseburgers from our friends, and I'm going to read their notes here shortly. Oh, there is a guinea. Yeah, see, I've never.
They were blocking the road this morning.
Oh, those are the actual ones. That's hysterical. You didn't run them down or shoot them or anything? No,
they're not my guineas.
Not my guineas. Anyway, so I'm putting deposits in a bank. So I drive to the bank, and I'm approaching the door, and I see behind me, out of the corner of my eye, is a woman coming up into the bank entrance sidewalk where I am, coming toward me, and she's about 15 or 20 feet away.
All right.
Okay. Now, you have a choice. If she's 20 feet away, I can either open the door, go in, and let the door close.
Well, I feel bad doing that.
That's a little aggressive. It's rudish. It's not, it's kind of just, it wouldn't be. Now, your modern day man who can identify as a non-gender woman who's really a tranny shouldn't apparently give a crap. You know, but isn't it funny? Now, Flounder, would you have thought anything about going into a bank 20 feet or 25 feet ahead of a woman behind you?
No.
Just going in and going to your business. So, okay.
Well, I mean,
it's close.
I would wait.
Okay.
I would wait and get the door for her.
The even issue that we even thought about it is a way different than what I think America's like today, raising people of today. The reason I mention it. But the second thing is, here's what happened. And this has happened to me before. So I get to the door. There was no question. I'm going to wait. I hold the door, and I stood back, and I waited. And she had a big smile on her face. She was probably 25, 30. And she had a big smile on her face. And she said, "Oh, thank you, thank you." And I said, "You're quite welcome." And she goes in ahead of me. And then she hurries right to the teller.
It jumps ahead of you.
Jumps ahead of me to go
do
right.
that.
Well, here's the thing. There were 2 windows open. Both were busy. So she's first in line ahead of me. I'm second in line now because she got ahead of me since I opened the door for her.
Yeah.
Okay. First, I think she should have at least said, "Thank you so much, but you were here first. Please, go right. Please help yourself." I would have said, "No, that's okay." My mother would have yelled at me if I didn't let you go. I would have made a joking, gentlemanly thing about it. Yeah. But she didn't say a word, so then I'm starting to get steamed, thinking, you should have at least freaking offered. Anyway, she didn't. Okay.
No.
So no. So that's my opinion. All right, so she's first in line. I'm second in line. Finally, the one on the left opens up. So she goes to the teller. And she must have 15 things to do. Let me put it to you this way. She was there and she was doing this and she was doing this and I'm going, oh, Jesus. And so finally, I'm waiting there like 6-7 minutes, which is a long time to wait in a line with nobody else in the bank.
Yeah.
Okay, so finally the other guy leaves and I get to that teller, put in my deposit, which takes 15 seconds. I have it all made out, signed, deposit only. I give it to her, bingo, bam, wham, wham. Honestly, it couldn't have been 15 or 20 seconds later. And I walked out and I got to my loaner car, I'm in there, and I started up and I waited, and she was still in line at the bank.
Wow.
And half the time, it's a Wells Fargo, and half the time they only have one teller working and no drive-through because they've cut back on everything. I could have been there 20 minutes to make a 15-second deposit because she was rude enough to not at least offer. And if she knew she had all that stuff, there's no way she should have done that.
What you're dealing with is and they're stupid men. That's a stupid woman who's not thinking
Just
about
inconsiderate.
anyone but herself.
She's just doing her thing and saying, "Oh, I get to be first in line, yay me."
She was raised wrong.
And I was really, I don't know. I mean, it's not going to bother me the rest of my life, but it was wrong. It was just, with all that stuff, she should have known that. I mean, come on.
Scotty the window guy. What a buildup for an $8 check to deposit.
Again,
Block him.
Are you Wells Fargo or?
Yeah.
I need to show you how to deposit a check via the app.
I know.
Again, but what I'm saying is, for something like that, for an $8 check, you wouldn't have had to make the trip.
Well, it was 3 of them, whatever. But again, I get the paper receipt and I put it in my bag, and then when I go to the tax girl, I've got all the I've got it all there. If I do it on an app, I got nothing. So
you get a. Every time you do a transaction with Wells Fargo, you get if it's an email or some kind of acknowledgement.
If I don't have it to make a line of, then I don't like it.
He's not
going. Oh, in fact, let me.
One of the things it's different generations.
I know. Well, in fact,
and again, it's technology because it happens with my dad, you, and it's just
that's right.
That's time, right. And it's starting to happen with me that I notice with the younger generation with these. WhatsApp, just these apps that they don't use their phone anymore. They just use apps.
Wait till the AI thing hits us all.
Remember, we've mentioned before, there's a woman who actually does counseling for money on teaching people how to use the phone, how to actually talk and leave messages and what to say and, hello, may I please speak to someone? I mean, they've never talked on the phone. Almost. I mean, I'm telling you, I remember a couple of weeks ago, there was a woman who has a consulting firm to help businesses teach their people how to use the freaking phone, the talking, old-fashioned talk phone. Anyway.
By the way, I'm having every time I've ever done this, getting prescriptions changed from one drugstore to the other is like an act of Congress these days. Because the doctors don't want to deal with them, and they don't want to deal with the doctors, so you got to deal with both of them.
I know.
And it's such a pain. And they say it's so easy, just transfer from there to there. It just takes a second, and then you do it, and you go, "Where are my pills?" We don't have any prescription here.
Yeah.
You have to call your doctor. It's like every time.
I know. I'm going through the same thing. Walgreens, once again, I had 2 prescriptions and they were refilled, but then they weren't. They didn't know it. They didn't. And I said, anyway, whatever. Now, speaking of what Fonda was just talking about, and you also, my kids are big fans of Michael. Do you know what Michael's is? Okay, it's
Arts and crafts store.
Arts and crafts store.
Yarn.
And more than that, a lot of things. It's a fun store.
No, it's all yarn.
It's all yarn. It's a lot of yarn. There's a lot of yarn and stuff. Okay.
Cats would love it.
Well, when I go now, a reminder, and you should also post this if you have. I don't know, but
it's the yarn barn.
We're taking the week of April 1st off.
We are.
Yes. Well, here we go again.
Denied.
We're taking the week of April 1st off. I'm going to the beach to see my kids and my grandkids.
Aww.
And so, and when I go to the beach, see my kids in Grange, they have my favorite ex-wife and her husband have a place that they do a yearly thing on the beach near Sarasota at the famous little town there. Anyway, so I go, and every time I go, I always bring a little tiny gifty for the girls from my favorite ex-wife and my daughters, and I bring a little tiny something for the kids, for my grandson Brady and Molly. Molly is a big fan of what Sarah told me is called a slime Elmer's goo. Have you ever heard of Elmer's goo? Elmer's G-U-E, and it's like Elmer's glue, but it's Elmer's goo, and it's for kids to play, and it's like slime.
No, I did not know that. Is it
So
edible?
I don't. I have no idea. So anyway, so she said Molly loves to play with slime. She'd love that to take to the beach for their week stay. So I Googled slime, and there's got to be a million slime. What? So I called Sarah. I said, "What the hell? I don't know what it is. I don't know what to do with it." So she sent me a picture, and there's little jars of something called Elmer's goo, and it's just slimy, gooey stuff, and you play with it and make things. I don't know what you do, but anyway, so I got that for her, and I got it at Michael's. The reason I'm telling this silly story is I went to Michael's and I'm looking around. I found some slimy things, but not the Elmer's goo that she wanted. So I looked for somebody to help me. There's nobody in the store.
No.
There's like the two women in the store.
Like Hobby Lobby.
And so finally I walk way back to the thing, and there's two women wearing the red aprons who are chatting with each other in the back of the store. So I said, "Excuse me." And she said, "Yeah." So I said, "What you got?" So I got a couple of jars of the goo. I go up to the front to pay. I'm not making this up. There's a woman at there. Well, first of all, you go through an aisle to get to where you pay. There must be 10 auto pay screen computer credit card things. No cashiers, like 10 things in a row, a whole row, one after another of computer screens.
Yes, sir.
Okay? And then there's and nobody else in that before you leave, right to where the exit is. So I get there. There's a woman at one of the computer screens trying to buy her stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
So I see her. I go to the where there's nobody there, and I say, "Is there a cashier I can check out here?" And a girl shows up. "Great, how you doing?" I said, and she said, "Oh, do you want to pay cash?" I swear to God, like, oh my God, I've never heard of such a thing. It was like $20, and I said, I said, yeah. I said, "Do you still take cash?" "Well, yeah, okay." So she has to open something to arrange to have a cash thing going. Oh my God! And so she finally does that, and she was very nice. And I'm saying, I said, "I'm fighting this, I'm fighting it." So I give her my cash, and finally we do the thing, and I get my checkout, and I start to go out the door. The lady at the thing is still there trying to pay for like 2 things on the credit card thing. I mean, and I look back and I almost said something. I said, "Just pay her the 20." I'm thinking, here we are. This is all in. It's everywhere. I mean, I had to ask to pay the bill.
They're trying to get rid of cash because they can't
go
trace
digital.
Cash.
That's right. And again, I heard them all this morning on Glenn Beck's show.
It's
and
against
all
the
these
law.
It's against the law.
You
They have
cannot
to
do
take
that.
Legal tender.
It's unbelievable. And they're trying to make a digital currency controlled by the government.
And which they can control.
Right.
They can shut you
and
off.
if they don't want you to buy a gun, they're going to prevent you from taking money out of your bank account to buy a gun. I'm not making that up. I mean, the credit card companies
Social
are already zinging you if you go into a gun store. They make a check mark or something to let people know you just bought a gun.
No, I pay cash.
Jesus.
No, their damn business.
Anyway, so I thought that was kind of weird.
I was told the other day that it takes a year to get a silencer. That you
I bet that's true.
You can put in the order and everything, but it takes a year to process for you to get it. Isn't that ridiculous?
That's what they say. Well,
that's insane.
They used to sell them at the Buckhead gun shop I used to go to. That burned down. Yeah, I forgot what they call it. The name of it.
Anybody has a underground one they want to sell me, get hold of me.
What kind of gun?
40 caliber.
40 caliber?
Snake killer.
Snake killer. Well, there's Pete Davis looking for a silencer for a 40 caliber pistol.
Yep.
Okay.
And why do you need that silencer, sir?
So my landlords don't hear me shooting on my property.
All right, now, the most important thing of the day, I've been delaying long enough. The most important thing of the day. I know you didn't see this, and I'll bet Flounder didn't see it either, but I posted a video over the weekend because I think I've remembered not to forget Pete Davis's birthday.
Oh, crap.
Now, I always miss it. I've always missed it. I missed the big one. I missed everyone. I've never done it. I'm not good about this. I guess I'm so selfish. I think of nobody but myself. So I remembered Pete Davis's birthday, and I did something about it, and I posted it as a joke showing what I was going to do for your birthday, knowing, as I'm saying in the video, he's not going to know this. I'm not, giving it away because he never looks at it. Well, now wait a minute. So what I said in the video was, I know sometime coming up here, I don't know when it is. I don't think it's today. It might be the 16th in my head, the 18th or 21st. There's sometime coming up here is Pete Davis's birthday. Now, I might have missed it a couple of days.
St. Patty's Day you're thinking of.
I don't know what it is, but I know you got a birthday coming up here sometime. So here, you son of a bitch. Here's I got a little something for you.
A bag.
Your own bag.
Is it goo?
No, actually, I got two things. I made cookies last night, and I have 4 white chocolate chip macadamias for you, and 4 for Flounder. And this is a happy birthday. Open it out because you might think it's handy.
It's Thursday.
Your birthday's Thursday? Oh, is it?
You
See,
wanna wait till
I didn't know
Thursday?
it. No, open it up. It's here now. Shit. I mean, crap. Sorry.
Oh, let's have some anticipation. You should wait till Thursday.
Anticipation.
Anyway, it's a.
By the way, I went to Chick-fil-A today on the way over here. And she goes, anything would you like a condiment? I said, yeah, just give me some ketchup. 6 things of ketchup. The big things of ketchup. So I brought some in for Flounder.
her.
6.
That's good. I mean, most of them don't.
A lot of places, a lot of places will only give you
Oh,
one.
I said.
You sure this isn't for you?
No, I've got my own.
It is a deluxe, not the ordinary.
no, this is
a
big time.
deluxe digital tire inflator.
Yeah. And
Inflator.
It's fast, and I have one. I have
yes.
a different brand, but I have one in my car, and I used it again last week. I had 2 slow leak tires, and had to buy 2 tires last week.
And you plug it in where?
In your cigarette lighter or AC.
I have
thing.
a cigarette lighter.
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
as long as
still
you have a
one.
battery, you have a battery. It runs off your battery in your car.
What? You got the same kind?
I have the same kind. I'll show you outside if you want.
I changed the name of my company.
It's just slime.
Slime.
I couldn't believe
Who
it.
has a company called
I don't
Slime?
know. That was the good one with fast speed on it. So I thought.
I don't need to plug it in.
No,
I just. All right, okay.
No, it goes into your cigarette lighter.
Oh,
This
cool.
is if you're like you said the other day, you were
broke it
driving
down.
along, and where are you gonna out in the woods? Where are you gonna find a gas?
I don't think the Porsche guys are going to be there in 15 minutes if
Yeah.
I get the flat. Yeah, you're right.
But
Kimmer,
anyway,
we have
so
a-
that might come in handy.
We have a quick message,
Thank
Kimmer,
you.
from Strict99.
All right.
Hey, my mom said she saw you and opened the door for you at the bank.
Well, you're quite welcome. It's not. Really, am I wrong for thinking she should have at least said, "Well, gee, you should go ahead."
She's how old was she?
25.
Yeah, that generation has not been raised with manners. They just haven't been raised with manners.
And
even if
she
they
was
were,
she was happy and smiling, but she never thought for a second to say
20-somethings,
you're so nice.
no.
And she should. Now I was wearing a hat and my Marine Corps leather jacket, so I didn't look 77 years old.
She's
but,
too young. She ain't
you know.
thinking of anyone but herself.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, I'm just mentioning because it was a thing, and it was I wasn't upset by it, but I was aggravated because I was trying to get here, and I must have been 12 or 15 minutes in line with nobody else.
This is what I always say when I'm buying a line and drive through or something like that. I go, "What are you doing? The banking for the Lakers? Get the hell out!"
Oh, I love it. Let's see. Coming up, none of your stinking business, fart breath. Either listen or go to hell and leave me alone.
What?
But first, did you hear about this? Frontier, and by the way, I'm going to talk Oscars, and did you get those sound bites I mentioned today there? Oh, good.
find is the new Trump jingle.
You didn't find the Jane Fonda one?
No, I found the Trump jingle. You said.
Oh, you could not find that?
No.
Oh, real? I'll be damned. He came out, his campaign came out with a new jingle over the weekend.
Oh, look, but again,
And people were complaining about it, so I assume it must be heard somewhere. Maybe, I don't know what the deal is. Anyway, so we'll hear some sound and a couple of comedy things, including an old-fashioned one that could not be repeated today live anyway. Never get away with it. But also, did you hear that Frontier Airlines has now been caught giving bonuses of $10 to every person at the gate who makes you check your bag? If you're at Frontier Airlines and you have a carry-on bag and somebody says, "Oh, sir, that really doesn't fit. We're going to have to check that for you," that person gets $10 bonus. Frontier is paying its people to check your bag, which also costs you between $50 and $150.
Really?
Yeah. And they're saying, well, we're trying to speed up the check-in process because oversized bags really just don't go. But they're checking bags that aren't really oversized, and they're making people pay the extra money for it.
I haven't flown in 10 years. Wow.
Oh, yeah? I fly once every 2 years. Now, let me ask you this. Let's see. I got it. And as you know, I have a source in the airline industry. I won't say where this is, but the source is I call Deep Sky. And he's an undercover agent, Deep Sky. Well, here we go. Deep Sky says, you'll know Southwest Airlines is in the news again. The pilots received an email with a headline, What Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Means to Flight Operations. In the email, he announces that DEI, diversity, equity, is now the guiding idea at Southwest Airlines. Shouldn't safety be the guiding idea? The word safety was never mentioned. He goes on to say the pilots will not be allowed to resent. The pilots will not be allowed to resent or question the skills of colleagues who have been promoted on the basis of race, gender, or affirmative action. Henceforth, pilots must ignore incompetence. One of our veteran pilots responded with this, quote, one of the tenets of commercial aviation is to avoid distractions and prioritize tasks that foster a safe flight. Now, our company is pursuing purposely distracting pilots with something completely unrelated to the safety of flights. This is criminal negligence. Spending time and money on this garbage when we are having runway incursions and near misses is insane. I swear, Tucker, this used to be a great airline, a wonderful place to work. Now we're woke airline. It stuns me that a whole workforce is forced to bow a knee to this totalitarian and fascist regime when a very small percentage of the population cares about gender ideology. I'm sure the general public would feel much better knowing that pilots in the cockpit are there based on their merit, skills, and qualifications, not on, finally, race and gender. The world's gone nuts, especially Southwest Airlines, Kimmer. I don't know why anyone would ever fly Southwest again, knowing that our guiding idea has nothing to do with safety. And the Tucker show, which I saw, ended, unfortunately, many people are going to die because of this. And that's from Deep Sky, and they're worried, now their pilots are not allowed to criticize other pilots who are incompetent, but if they're black, they can't say anything?
Yep.
Or gay, or what? Oh, my God. I mean, Jesus.
It's scary. Netflix has this special out about the Malaysian flight that disappeared.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. There's also,
Wow.
I think, The Greatest Mysteries, whatever channel that's on. History Channel, I think, does one of those.
This is a whole series. And
really?
It gets really in-depth how crazy this thing was.
Man. By the way,
They always went to war.
I'm sorry?
The Chinese thought it was an act of war.
Really?
But it was almost used it as a pretense to
now, which flight are we talking?
Malaysia.
When was this?
The one in Malaysia that disappeared going from there to Beijing.
Yeah.
From Malaysia.
Yeah.
And it just disappeared, and we searched for it for weeks.
Haven't they found one part of a wing or something, I think? They think. And that's a little iffy. Fernando, the Seaman, gave us a very, very nice bunch of cheeseburgers. Says, howdy, boys. Thanks for putting the show together. You bring a lot of smiles here. Cordially, Fernando. Well, God bless you, sir, and thank you so very much. All right, where am I? God, I'm doing so much stuff here.
Do the Oscars.
Oh, let's do Oscars. I'm going to put this over here, and this over here, and this over here, and now. Well, no, I got to do a thing. Okay. The Oscars last night. First of all, but Pete and I talked this morning, and you had not even remembered they were on. Of course, you didn't have a TV set up yet either, but even so, had not.
I love the Oscars. I would just sit there
to.
as family. We'd watch it and everything. Yeah. We'd seen the movies. Who sees the movies now unless they're on Netflix? But I completely forgot about it till midnight last night, and I picked up my phone and someone had tweeted something, and it was like, oh, my God, I completely forgot.
You know why? Because you don't watch ABC, NBC, and CBS or any promos on the mainstream media that will promote the Oscars or advertise the Oscars.
ESPN had a thing at the top, and last week. And I saw it was Jimmy Kimmel, so I'm not going to watch it anyway because I hate that son of a bitch.
Flounder, did you have any Oscars?
I was sound asleep when that.
Oh, but of course you were. I forgot when I used to get up at 10 after 2 every morning.
But I mean, I'm sure you're going to talk. But one thing is the host is someone we all hate, Jimmy Kimmel.
Right.
He didn't do anything political.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Okay, my original, obviously, assumption was, and everybody else had said, the Oscars are going to be the same old thing. They have no audience, and they keep trying to, it's millionaires giving millionaires and stars giving stars awards. Then they're going to get all political. They're going to blast Trump. And they're going to da-da-da-da-da. And it's Jimmy Kimmel. And as I don't know about you, and I think we've talked about it before, years ago when Jimmy Kimmel was doing the Man Show, that was one of the funniest shows I've ever seen. That, the girls on trampolines, and then they had that little kid, that 14-year-old kid asking girls to take their top off on the beach. Hey, honey, can you buy me a beer? He's like 9 or something, and the girls are laughing. I mean, it was hysterical. I mean, it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Anyway, so he used to be really entertaining. Not anymore. Anyway, so he was the host. I missed the first 10 seconds, but I watched a good part of the intro, and the intro was Jimmy Kimmel in the back seat of Tom Cruise's jet fighter plane, and Tom Cruise is giving the actual part of the movie where he says, "You got to eject, and Kimmy says, "I don't want to eject. No, I don't want to eject," and they're making a little joke about him, and finally he ejects, and then everybody's and then all of a sudden in the live shot at the auditorium, he's actually parachuted down onto the stage. Okay, so it's it was a gimmick and clever and whatever. I did watch a few minutes of it. He did make a couple of jokes. He said, "Oh, look at Steven Spielberg over here, and there's Joe Rogan. Steven Spielberg and Joe Rogan. They're kind of the Joe and Hunter Biden of Hollywood." Huh? I didn't get it. The old timer and the younger guy, or using his money. I didn't get the link. What's the link? You're giving the big guy 10%. I mean,
Joe Rogan was at the Oscars.
That's what he said.
He knows everybody now.
Yeah.
They've all been on his show.
But
who
I don't.
Won?
Well,
it was best film.
That one, everybody who does everything all the time, everywhere, or whatever the hell
really?
that is.
Not going to watch that. Did the fat guy win? Did
the fat guy, Brendan Fraser, won.
Good. I like Brendan Fraser.
Yeah. Let me get before. I don't have a whole. Well, no, wait a minute.
Who was the assistant director that won?
Oh my God, man!
Cinematography.
Well, I know the best foreign language film was about Up Yours. I think was pretty much the name of the title there. How about Blow Me? How about that? Yeah, that was a famous Spanish film right there.
Cone.
Yeah, Eat Me. How about that? Yeah, hinga tinga danga. Anyway, I didn't get that one. He did make a joke about a male director who apparently was not nominated, and he said something like, "I guess he should have identified as a woman," or there was some kind of again, it wasn't very funny, but it was a kind of a little thing. He said, you'll be glad about this, Pete. It's too bad you missed it. Jimmy Kimmel did say, there were a lot of movies that never got the attention they should, like the Emmett Till movie. People should go see the Emmett Till. They had Jimmy Kimmel. They had to bring up, go see the Emmett Till movie, even though it wasn't
nobody went and saw it.
Yeah, even though it wasn't part of the Oscars, he had to mention Emmett freaking Till.
Yeah. They'll never let it go.
What was that, 70 years ago?
There's money to be made.
God. Anyway, and
we're still the same.
Emmett Till.
Nothing's changed.
Emmett Till. Now, okay, one thing I did see, the Asian actor who won the Best Supporting Actor was that guy from this Everything You've Ever Done Before, You've Done Everything All Together, All at Once with Everything Together thing. It's all that girl Michelle Yeoh also won.
That's all they give it to now is the Asian film.
She got the Oscar. He got the Oscar. And by the way, I have not seen the movie, but I saw the clips they showed. It looks like a really impossibly hard movie to direct. It was fantastic fantasy scenes and things and stuff that comes up. I mean, it was just I said, oh my God, how do you keep track of? And it was very emotional. And he's crying, and I mean, blah, I don't know.
So
anyway.
Top Gun didn't win.
Top Gun didn't get. Top Gun, I think, got something like music or art or something, but didn't get squat. Anyway, here's the reason I mentioned the Asian actor.
By the way,
yeah, Gesundheit.
Everyone said it wasn't Joe Rogan; it was Seth Rogen.
Oh, Seth Rogen. Okay, same.
Okay, no, it's not the same. Huge difference between talent and brains.
Okay.
Joe Rogan is way up there, and Seth Rogen destroys everything he touches.
Okay, well then why would it be funny to mention that Steven Spielberg and Seth Rogen are the Hunter and Joe Biden of Hollywood?
Because Spielberg is old, and Seth does a lot of drugs, according to Scooter.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Scooter. Sorry, I'm Seth Joe. I was doing 9 things at a time.
He destroyed the Green Hornet. One of my childhood great shows.
Really? Well, see, I didn't see that either.
It.
Yeah, that's no good. Anyway, let me mention what this Asian actor I thought was very important, and after this I stopped watching. I just watched a few minutes. This Asian actor and they showed a clip of him, and he was a great actor. I mean, he was very emotional and crying and laughing, and it was really wild all over the place. And he won, and he said, my 83, whatever year old mother was watching, Mom, I won an Oscar. But he said, my story is, I came here on a boat, and I spent a year in a refugee camp. And all of a sudden, I'm standing on this stage with all you people.
Where is it?
Wait a minute, shut up. God bless it, Jesus. Let me get to the punchline. Christ. He says, it started on a boat. I spent a year in a refugee camp. And today I'm standing here in front of all these people with an Oscar. He said, I am proof that there is an American dream. And they all, yay, like they really think there's an American dream. I couldn't believe it. I mean, and for him, and it made me tingle to say, this is an Asian guy who was a freaking refugee describing the American dream, which is real for him. And all these phonies have no idea about the American dream, and they're all pretending to salute. And I was really upended by it.
Where did he come from on a boat?
I don't know.
At this point of the history.
I don't know.
What refugee camp was he in?
Okay, he's a dirty, stinking liar, and the man is
I'm just
was
trying
born
to say.
He was a member of the royal family, and he came over here from the Ding Dynasty.
After Vietnam fell, yeah.
Yeah,
but come on.
Well, there you are. Anyway, Jesus,
50
you are
years
such
ago.
Oh my God, you are such a,
If I was there,
grouchy
I'd
old
just call
son of a
bullshit.
bitch.
Throw the bullshit flag right there.
I don't know whether to go on. My God,
You just believe everything these
Jesus.
Hollywood types tell you. Hook, line, and sinker.
Oh my God, man.
Question them.
Yeah, all right, well, hold everything. Now, one other thing on the Oscars, and this is all I know because I didn't watch. I saw a
It's
couple
so
things.
sad how it's completely faded into who
We
cares.
never missed it.
We watched it.
The
every
family
year.
would let us stay up late.
Eat
If
ice
you want to take a
cream,
nap,
what?
we'll stay up till 10. So it's going to be on till 10 o'clock, and you have school today or whatever. Never miss the Oscars. We had seen the movies. We knew the
Yeah.
people. They were glamorous. They were sweet. They were polite. They were, oh my God, look at that, Natalie Wood. Oh my God. I mean, it was a family, wholesome, happy entertainment. There was no nastiness or political intent.
Every
I mean,
now
it
and
was
then,
just,
but not-
not so that it was a thing. And now I literally, like, you didn't even know it was on, and I'd forgotten it was on until I went through it last night on the TV guide, and oh God, I circled it. Anyway, here's what I then have the in memoriam section where they have the dead people who died.
Yeah.
Not on the list. They did not include Anne Hesh,
Wow.
who, blew herself up in the car bomb, basically, when she ran into the thing. Anne Hesh was not on the list. Paul Sorvino was not on the list.
Why? Who's the idiot who puts this list?
Gilbert Gottfried was not on the list.
Come on.
Tom Sizemore was not on the list. Cindy Williams was not on the list. And Robert Blake was not on the list. Now, some of them they mentioned on their website, apparently, but they and the on memoriam, no, we're not there. How could you leave
every
off?
year they do this?
I know.
Who's in charge of that? It's embarrassing.
I read an article about this. They can actually include up to the night of the ceremony.
Yeah.
They have an app which allows them to put the names on to the last
Robert
minute.
Blake.
Yeah.
Every one of those people you mentioned have been in movies, not just TV.
Well,
Everyone
but
was
it's
in
also
movies.
been celebrity Hollywood stars. I mean, it's nobody would be offended if they said, "Well, Cindy Williams has mostly made a mode for
American
TV."
Graffiti.
Well, so what? I know. But still, the whole thing is just stupid.
Robert Blake.
Oh,
boy.
and in fact, one more acting thing here. Before I forget here.
Beretta was one of my favorite shows back in the 70s. Beretta.
Beretta, I never liked that with the feather in his hat and the bird.
That was a parrot.
A parrot, yeah, or a cockatoo or something.
And
Was it a parrot?
that was based on Toma, which was a
Yeah.
great show.
Oh, I did remember
Tony
Toma,
Musante.
Yeah.
And he got in a salary fight, so they fired him
Yeah.
and they hired Robert Blake.
That was a good show. That was a good series. All right, now here, just for the fun of it, speaking of acting, I came across a little feature article concerning actors who regretted some scene in their movies for their entire lives. Burt Reynolds insisted in the movie Deliverance on doing all his own stunts, even for the waterfall scene, which is what Burt Reynolds now, well, he's dead, regretted. Rather than letting production use a dummy, Burt Reynolds dove down the waterfall in Deliverance himself. Unfortunately, Burt Reynolds hit a rock on the way down and broke his tailbone.
It's coccyx.
The coccyx.
Yeah.
His injury continued to hurt him for the rest of his life.
Okay.
And the production people said the final shot really wasn't worth it, but he did it anyway, and he broke his freaking tailbone.
Oh, that had
And
to
the
hurt.
rest of his life, he struggled, he
I don't
suffered.
even want to think about that.
Kate Winslet in the movie Titanic. I know we're all thinking one thing.
Right.
She had a great, I mean, my
Oh,
God,
yeah, perfect.
great bosoms. Kate Winslet said it can be hard for difficult actors to know how a certain scene will be received. Kate Winslet gave the public a little too much credit when she agreed to the nude scene in Titanic. To this day, Kate Winslet has fans walking up to her asking to sign autographs on a picture of her naked boobies. Some even do it in front of her children. She has always refused to sign anything and regrets that she did it.
She's done other nude
I
things.
know.
The only where she's full
even when
frontal.
she was older, when she
Yeah.
was played a married woman cheating on her husband or something.
And she was a
full-
teacher with a
I
young
know.
kid.
Well,
yeah.
I don't.
Come on.
I'm telling you.
Please.
Sharon Stone. And again, I have a whole thing about this anyway. Sharon Stone, Basic Instinct. Sharon Stone is a real reason to be upset about the scene in Basic Instinct. She was told, in the famous part, she crosses and uncrosses her legs wearing a white dress. The director, Paul Verhoeven, insisted that Sharon Stone remove her underwear as it was distracting. He promised her that her private parts would not be shown in the film, but he lied. Sharon Stone, when she saw him the next time, slapped him. Now, I'm telling you, I've seen that movie and I've seen that scene. You can't see anything. There's nothing there. And they say, "Oh, you see her bare vagina." No, you don't. It's
never
not.
seen
There's not. It's not. It's
don't wanna see
nothing.
it.
Well, there's nothing to see. It's all hyped up. I mean, and it's been lasting for what 40 years? What is that? 88 or something? I don't know. Anyway, I'm just
like
saying.
a gorge.
What's that?
Speaking of which,
Valley Forge.
the Oscars brought to you by FarmhousePrintingCo.com.
Well, there you
That's
are.
right here in Sonoya, Georgia, with all the shirts and hats and signs, promotional items. You can order 1, 500, 1,000, doesn't matter. No minimum order, no setup fees. With laser engraving, if you want something to last forever, they got it. FarmhousePrintingCo.com. They do all the stuff for this show, Holy Crap at Sports, Shannon Burke, everybody. Use
The
this farm.
Podcat blanket, my golf towel for my son-in-law, Jennifer's T-shirts, and a beach bag. I got her beach bag with the boys'
Bingo
Clydesdales pictures on
T-shirts.
it. Yeah.
Bingo,
Absolutely,
Kimmer Bingo.
Bingo shirts. Whatever will float your boat.
FarmhousePrintingCo.com.
FarmhousePrintingCo.com. A few thank yous here for people who have sent the Kimmer Show post office box is Kimmer Media, 1432. Post office box 1432, P.O. Box 1432, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. And again, if you go to thekimmershow.net, you can find all this stuff linked there. I'm getting 3 thank you notes out today. Our buddy Tim, who sends us things frequently from Atlanta, says, "Thank you for all you guys do. R.I.P. Kara. Way too soon. Days are long, but years are short." And that's a way to think about it. Isn't that true?
A year.
That's been a year on the
Blows
11th.
my
You know,
mind.
yeah, and we weren't on the air to say anything, and that's why I put that picture up there. I had asked Flounder to put that up there. Anyway, so thank you, Tim. Also, a very nice note here, and a cheeseburger money, a gigantic cheeseburger money from Blaine. Says, "Kimmer, Pete, Flounder, enjoy the show and commenting on YouTube show. I hope this helps you guys get a steak instead of cheeseburgers. Sent some stout," and she also sent stamps to help with your postage expenses. Best regards, Blaine. Thank you, Blaine. That's very sweet. And one more. And again, a thank you note is coming. One more from our buddy Michael in Powder Springs. And it's a monster cheeseburger donation. It says, "Kimmer, what are you talking about, paywall? Come on, man. She." Kimmer needs intervention. It says, "Thanks again for keeping us laughing." Mike in Powder Springs with a monster donation, which was very, very, very sweet.
Thank you.
Anyway, thank you guys. And your thank you notes will be in the mail later this afternoon. I'll put those right back here and over here and bing bang. All right, sir. Now. Okay. The Jane Fonda story. If you can you want to play that soundbite, or should we just talk about it? We can play this. We'll get the soundbite quick. The other day, and by the way, well, 2 things. The other day in the newspaper, the Al Jazeera Constitution, which is getting, they're obviously weaning us from any news. It's all just feature stories, and I mean, it's just really horrible coverage of anything. But in the Al Jazeera Constitution the other day, there was a full-page color ad. Full-page color ad. The ad says, "Join us in celebrating abortion providers today. Abortion Care Network, ACN, presents Indies Rock, and is a free pass of a ticket for the abortion providers today. Without them, communities would be left without access to the essential health care they need. Abortion is health care. Independent abortion care providers are superstars."
God, that's evil.
I mean, you know, if there's
evil.
Legal abortion, fine.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
a full-page color ad
Evil.
celebrating abortion as health care?
Evil.
And I'm, you know, again, I don't know whether abortion's justifiable homicide or murder. I mean,
You have to answer for it
You either
yourself.
have, well, you have faith in something, but I don't know. I mean, everybody's probably got if you believe a woman who got raped should be able to have an abortion, then you believe in abortion.
Okay.
Well, I'm saying. Anyway, so with that as a background, the reason I mentioned it, with that as a background, Jane Fonda. First of all, Jane Fonda is 107. Why is she even in? Anybody care to talk with her again? But we know the reason for that. She was on The View, and they were talking about abortion care, and they were talking about how they could stop Republicans from preventing women from getting abortions and what should happen to those people. And here's a little soundbite, in case you missed it, of Jane Fonda with her opinion on abortion prevention.
Besides marching and protesting, what else do you suggest?
Well, it doesn't happen overnight. It's not a miraculous. What did you say? Murder.
She's kidding. Wait a second. She's just
Now,
kidding.
don't say that. That's
You don't know. They'll pick up on that and
yeah,
just run
that's
with
the
it.
worst.
They'll pick up on that. And for the record, Jane Fonda wasn't. She claimed later she was only kidding. It was satire, hyperbole, or whatever she claimed it, which is bullcrap. If you saw her plastic face, and by the way, oh God, oh Jesus, flash, kabashka.
The term "dry gulch" comes to mind.
Dried up old hose bag comes to mind. Anyway, she wasn't. She believes it. She would have no problem with people. You know, if she found out that somehow the last 10 abortion care preventers were suddenly killed in a car wreck, she'd have a party. I mean, she'd celebrate it. She would celebrate it. She may not pull the trigger herself, but she would celebrate if they died. Absolutely. She wasn't kidding. And even that fat one said, "Oh, now they're going to cut." They meaning America. I mean, who can possibly think that that's clever, funny, or anything else? But again, here you are. There they are. And my other thing is, Jane Fonda is literally almost 90. I guess the only people who would care about what she thinks are people on The View, which have the most nasty. They have to be the most nasty, unhappy, unsatisfied, miserable, self-loathing hypocrites in one team ever in a group together. You know what I'm saying? Really, even think about it. Anyway, Jane Fonda, who's going to go to hell when she dies, and you know, because of the Vietnam thing and the pilots and the anti-aircraft gun and everything. And if you don't know all about that, shame on you, because you should. And she denied, by the way, the famous story was that when she was there to greet all the POWs, the American fighter pilots and bombing pilots who got shot down and were prisoners, and she got to meet them and shake their hands. And the word was that the pilots had slipped her notes saying, "Please call my wife," with a phone number or whatever, context like that. And they slipped it into her hand as they were shaking her hand while she was going down the line. And the story was that when she got to the end and after they'd all gone back, she gave the notes to the guards.
In front of the prisoners.
Yeah. She denied that. There's one story denial. Frankly, I'll bet she was either capable of doing it or saying, "Oh, you know, they're slipping me notes." I mean, I guarantee it. Again, she thought she was doing the right thing. That's what she believed. She was making fun of shooting down American pilots. Picture a video of her in the anti-aircraft gun. So, you know, please, you're killing me. So screw you. Go to hell. You're going to go to hell when you die. And frankly, good riddance. And I don't forgive, and it's not. I don't. You know, it's not my. Nobody cares whether I forgive her for anything. I don't give a damn. But I remember the time when a pilot when pilots used to come out of the cockpit at the end of a flight to say hi to the crowd. Remember them? Remember those days when they were not locked in their little cockpit? When a plane landed, airline landed, pilots would come out and shake hands or say hi, take pictures, give a kid some wings or whatever going by. And one time, Jane Fonda she was on the plane and first class. She was coming to the ping, and the pilots kind of put their heads down and kind of turned away, and she said, "Oh, Vietnam." Huh? And walked out. It was back in the 70s. Anyway.
I had one encounter with her. After she was with Ted.
Yeah.
And Rays had won something. And she was standing outside the locker room because she didn't want to be in there with the players were partying and everything.
Yeah.
And she was standing outside the locker room, and I came up and had a nice conversation. She was very pleasant. And I just asked her, well, you're not going to go in there and jump with the champagne? And it's like, she says, no, that's for the boys and stuff like that. She's very pleasant. I'm sitting there thinking, how weird, how surreal it is to be talking to someone that famous and that hated, just timidly sitting out in the hallway waiting for her husband to come back out.
Yeah. I know.
It was just weird.
I know.
Okay, now the cat is literally in the bag again. He's going to get in that bag.
Podcat's trying to figure out how to get
Yeah, there he goes.
The
You don't have to help him. He knows what he's doing. He's a cat. Get in that bag.
So you remember, what was it? It was last Monday or Friday when you took the picture of Lucas in the plastic bag?
Yeah.
Yeah, I sent that to some friends, and they were like, is he choking? Get that off of him.
First thing you go, he's going to suffocate. He's got claws.
Yeah, we're going to sit here and watch him choke. Yeah, we're going to give him a grenade to play with while he's doing it.
Paper bags. Okay, Lucas, have fun. Anyway.
Everybody was asking me, you got a cat?
Oh, there you go.
He's in the bag.
He got in.
The cat's in the bag.
Oh, what a cute little
Now, the funny thing is you grab it by the handles and you swing it around.
Oh, he'd probably jump if I went for it. I'm not going to do that.
Think if I could pick him and walk around with him? Let's see if he does it. Yeah, pick him up and see what he does.
I picked it up. Hi, little boy. I picked it up and he didn't jump out. Oh, he's getting used to us now. Oh, be darned.
Just walk around
Flounder's
with
going to try it. Sorry, folks, you're listening to this on the air.
Just walk around with it. See what he does.
It's a Flounder's got it.
He'd probably let you carry him around like that.
Hi, little boy. Oh, he says, I was having...
All right, let's get back to the show.
Okay, doke. All gone.
Squirrel.
Sorry.
Cat.
Cat. Now, I'm getting a phone call. It's from my car business. Can I answer it?
Yeah, we can.
Sure.
Okay, sorry.
We're good.
We're ripping?
Yep.
Okay, sorry, folks. That's my fault entirely. Let's see. Oh, where's my nasty girl up here? Oh, no, where is it? Somewhere in here. Oh, here we go. I got it. Speaking of liberals and how much we hate them, did you hear about the little... little psycho teenage chick who I think just turned 20, Greta, the Thunberg or whatever? Well, in case you missed it, one of the best headlines of the year so far over the weekend, I got this off of Twitter. One of the best headlines of the year. Greta Thunberg deletes 2018 tweet saying world will end in 2023 after the world does not end. And so it is her famous tweet in a picture of her face. She deletes, oh my God, the world's going to end in 2023. And on that date, the world did not end on 2023. Greta, how dare you delete this tweet? Another failed global warming prediction. I love the way they put that, global. Guess she couldn't handle becoming a laughingstock. Poor Greta's finding out the internet is forever. The world didn't end, and Greta's tweet is now deleted. Screenshots live on, though. Greta, politicians, and climate grifters have perpetrated a massive fraud on the world. However, the progressive left always doubles down on their cherished lies and never admit the truth.
Yep.
Karen, Chicken Little, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. Greta Thunberg, climate crisis, the world is ending. Guess the egg did come before the chicken because it's all over Greta's face. Maybe in the next 5 years. Unbelievable. The world was going to end in 5 years in 2018.
You know what's funny? Unpacking all my stuff on that same vein, I found something I took called the death test. Remember that?
No.
It would predict when you're going to die.
Oh, God.
I took this in 2001. Yeah, 2001.
Yeah.
And it said that I was going to die.
Do you have do you have the questions or the test?
No.
Do you remember what they were before you tell?
This is how old it was. It says, mark your calendar or your Palm 5 of when you're expected to die.
Palm 5? Was that
Yeah.
like an old texting?
The
My
Palm thing.
Palm Pilot?
Yeah. Yeah, that's how old this thing is. It said I was going to die February 21st, 2013. I wish I'd found this.
Jesus,
I
are
would've-
you serious?
That day, what a day that would have been. You're waiting around all day for something
Pete,
to
I hope,
happen.
I'm not
said-
going to give you mouth to mouth.
I was going to die at age 51, and I would most likely die from a heart attack, 19%, cancer, 14%, electrolysis, 8%, alcoholism, 7%, public execution in a third world country, 6%,
Oh, no, wait a minute.
drowning, 5%,
Oh, I'm throwing a flag.
horrible accident, 5%, and alien abduction, 5%.
I would think you'd have more of a higher chance of dying in an accident than you would have being shot in some foreign country. I mean, come on. But you must have to fill out, if you ever smoked or how much you drink or where you live or
I think we
what
all
your
did.
parents did. I don't remember ever doing
Actually,
it.
2013, we were not on the air by that point.
No, I was down.
Actually, 2001, we were.
we came back.
So we would have,
in
2001.
November 3rd, 2013.
I think we all did this test.
Oh, I'll be damned.
God, I'm glad I didn't find this because that would have been a hell of a day.
Yeah.
Sitting around waiting.
Oh, 2001, we were on the radio.
I know. That's when we took the test. Yeah.
And we were on the air 2000. We weren't
We
on
were
the air
not
in
on the air.
February. No.
Yeah, no.
We were on November 2013. 10 years ago this year when we came back. Anyway, so the Greta. Now, the podium princess is at it again. I mean, how many times can you embarrass yourself and literally not just resign in humiliation? This woman with her flopsy-mopsy cottontail hairdo and her 50 different rainbow color shades of color all over her eyes and ears, and oh my God, dear. Shireen, Kathleen, Vagine, Trachin, the podium princess. She's black, she's gay, she's a girl. Well, we have a little soundbite of her the other day. She got torched again for her word salad. She's even worse than Carmela, the shiftless side piece vice president, who is just a giggling laugher when she can't think of what to say. But this woman, this podium princess, Flopsy Mopsy, is just a freaking embarrassment. She was talking about the border security issues and accused Donald Trump of gutting America's immigration system. Anyway, see if you can figure out what she's saying here about who to blame for what.
What we are going to promise is that we're going to do this. We're going to move forward with this kind of system, this immigration system that has been gutted, really, truly gutted by the last administration. We're going to move forward and do it in a humane way. We're going to do it in a safe way, and we're going to do it in the way that moves us forward. And so what we have been seeing, what we've been dealing with, again, is trying to fix the damage that the last administration did. What we have done is we've opened the path to make sure that people have a way to get, to come through and do it in a legal pathway. What we are,
I mean, my God.
All of it lies.
That's the spokesman for the American government.
I know.
Reactions. Emptier words have never been spoken by anybody not named Carmela Harris. Word salad. More words, please. Talking words. Ted Cruz. 40 seconds of total nonsense from Karine Tatin about the border. How can she go on TV so often and be happy with an interview that goes like that? We've opened the path to make sure that people have a way to come through. They're making illegal immigration legal by not enforcing the laws on the books. Their claim that the president's opting for a humane immigration policy. What's humane and compassionate about 880,000 deaths last year, 107,000 opioid deaths, 70% from fentanyl? 1.2 million known gotaways. It may be cartel terrorist people, rape trees, child sex trafficking. How many more deaths or rapes before you end this human path forward? What they call a human path forward. Kevin McCarthy. Not even the White House press secretary can provide a clear defense of Biden's indefensible open borders agenda. Ta-da! I mean, what more can you say? And by the way, it's not hard to believe because coming up, the president's schedule. Also, a couple of comedy things, fun things for you. But first, in our other tease, get off my back because you're ugly and you know it. And you'll never know I feel like telling you anything, so shut up. But first, this reminder from Wise RV Glass. Boy, what a great idea this was, by the way, especially during the pandemic that started a couple of years ago. What a great idea. If you have an RV, a motor coach, a camper, a vehicle like that, and you have any kind of a glass issue, the key is to get that fixed by not having to leave where you are. You get a hold of Wise RV Glass, and they come to you and they fix any and all glass issues. Could be a fogged up double pane window. Maybe you've got one of those hard to find flat one-piece front windshields in SUVs and RVs and so forth. If you even a rear view mirror or a side mirror or a rear windshield, and you're saying, oh, I'm not going to call them for a side. Yeah. That's what they do. This is how they make their living. It's a business to take care of you so you don't have to go driving around or do it yourself. One-piece windshields, anything in between, saving you time and money where you are. Here's a phone number. Give them a call. Wise, W-I-S-E, Wise RV Glass. Area 470-345-6521. If you talk to Russell, tell him you say hi to Dad Carl, who retired a couple of years ago. And a nice family business. On the web, wiservglass.com. Tell him the Kimmer Show podcast sent you, and we'd be very, very, very grateful.
Breaking news. Falcons have re-signed their punter.
Oh no!
Yeah, so that's
in fact, you want to do a sports thing?
final piece of the puzzle.
Let's do a little just a sports thing. I know you saw the story.
Yes, sir.
Of the game. I forgot whether it was the baseball game.
New Orleans versus Mississippi Valley State.
Yes, holy cow! And the batter is up, and it's 1-1 or what the count? Aren't the bases loaded? 2 outs or something?
I don't know. It's 1-1.
There were 2 outs. Anyway,
1-1
2
count.
outs. Okay, 2 outs in the bottom of the last inning. 2 outs. Okay, and the guy's got a strike on him, and then the pitcher throws a ball way down and away. I mean, really pretty low, and the catcher had to yank it way up high. I mean, the ump must have seen him yank it 3 feet up to pretend it was a strike. The ump called it a strike. The batter, much to his stupidity, started literally jumping in the batter's box complaining. He jumped up and down and hopped around and was, oh my God, I can't believe it was low. So really showing up the ump. Yep. Really showing up the ump. The next pitch came in 3 feet from the. I mean, it wasn't even close to the catcher almost missed it.
Lunged.
And the umpire rung him up. And I thought there was going to be a fight. They had to hold him. They said, what? I mean, it was unbelievable. Empty benches are trying to. I mean, geez. And the umpire got suspended.
Yeah, he'll never ump again. He'll never.
I mean, and
He Eric Gregged him.
oh man, I miss Eric Gregg.
No, I don't.
Well, I don't miss
glad
what he did, but I miss the
It's a shame he's
controversy.
dead. Yeah.
Well, now they got who's that worst guy? That other new black guy.
There's C.B. Buckner and Angel Hernandez.
Angel
And they
Hernandez
won't
is-
fire either one of them because they're minorities.
Angel Hernandez. Oh my
They're
God.
both horrendous.
Oh. Anyway, so I assume you saw that. Now, obviously, the kid should not have jumped
No.
around like showing him up. That was wrong. But for the ump to ring him up and end the game.
Yep.
I mean, that's what it ended the game. Call 3 strikes, third out, you're out.
He should have been more professional, and the coach and him afterwards should have set the kid down and said, "Listen,
Right.
you don't do this."
Yeah, and the kid should have had to apologize and
Yes.
apologize to his team and the other team and the fans. If I were that manager, I would have had that kid had some kind of PA announcement system, or have him turn at home after the game was over, go to home plate and address anybody left in the stands and apologize for his behavior.
Well, they won't do that.
I know they won't do it, because that would be like what real Americans would do. Anyway, I thought it was kind of weird. And now, anything on your mind off the top of your head on Holy Crap at Sports coming up later?
The Falcons have made a lot of moves today. It's the first day they can do it legally.
Quarterbacks?
No
I mean,
quarterbacks.
Carolina. No, I mean, but in terms of the NFL, was it Carolina made got Chicago's #1 pick?
Yes, sir.
And they're going to take Fields, I guess, right?
No, Fields is already.
Oh no, I mean, who's the guy they're going to take?
C.J. Stroud.
CJ from Ohio State.
Probably.
Used to be wasn't he with us?
No, he was not.
Well, who was he? He was with Alabama then or something, right?
No, he was not.
Well, now, all right, now hold on a second. C.J. Stroud has only
You're
always been
thinking
with
of
Ohio
Justin Fields, who was
Ah,
at
who was-
Georgia.
That's right.
And then he
okay.
went to Ohio
All right,
State,
so
and then he went to
C.J. Stroud will probably be #1 pick. Go to
Probably.
Carolina,
Maybe.
and then maybe now who?
They might trade it.
Well,
Carolina
once
can
again,
trade
yeah,
it again.
they've got the pick. Now they've got to come up. Well, wow, this could be interesting. I mean, this could be pretty exciting. And now, do you think the Falcons are going to get up from #8, higher than #8, or
I doubt they move up.
I don't
but you
know how
never
they can move. They have a lot of salary cap stuff or trade people or
They
anything.
got a lot of money to spend.
Well, maybe so.
Which they've
And
already
if they
signed
do,
3 or 4 players today.
Should they get another defensive rush crusher
Oh,
or a
yeah.
good, strong safety or a quarterback?
People say Jalen Carter might fall to him. Would you pass up Jalen Carter?
No, I would not. I'd slap him around and I'd embarrass the crap. I'd make him go to the public and just mea culpa, baby, from day one, and then show what he's got. I would take him. I think, I don't know, I so despise the lack of character. But again, he's a 20-year-old kid. He's a college football player, star, about to be a millionaire. Or is a millionaire. I guess he probably got NIL money or whatever. So anyway, whatever. So he's a 20-year-old kid, and I don't know whether black has anything to do with it, but he's a 20-year-old college kid, and he's a star in the campus, and the girls love him and all that kind of thing. And he didn't behave the way he should have, as that a grown man would. So I can understand it. I've embarrassed myself on things where I did not act like a man when I was 18 or 20. Well,
But they weren't life and death.
But they weren't laughing, and I was in the Marines, so I was a little.
You didn't leave your buddy dying there.
Yeah. By a long shot. So yeah, maybe not, Pete. I don't know. Honestly, I think I don't know. I'd really have to.
I think if he's there, they take him.
I think. My guess, whether I'd take him, I don't know. I guarantee they'd take him. I guarantee the Falcons will
The
take him.
Falcons have never picked a Georgia player in the first round. Never.
Yeah, but he's an awesome force.
But he's not 100% guaranteed. He takes plays off.
Now, who's the other? There's one other Alabama defensive. Is it Alabama guy?
Will Anderson. I would take him over anybody.
There's another guy. Yeah.
To
Anyway,
me, he's the #1 pick in the draft.
Yeah. Now, any comments on what's his name? The quarterback signing for $60 million guaranteed from Vegas, and he went to
New Orleans.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a stopgap.
Yeah, but he's also 34 or something.
No, he ain't that old. Derek Carr's not that old.
Didn't he? Anyway, whatever. Anyway, I just wonder, any other sports things in your top of your head offhand?
We lost last night to Mexico.
Oh my God, the World Baseball thing?
11-4.
Wow.
And everyone's going to, we got this great team. No, we don't. We have a great hitting team.
Yeah.
Our pitchers aren't squat.
Yeah.
And I thought this before Kershaw said, I can't go.
Yeah.
Look at their pitching staff. It's a bunch of nobodies.
Yeah, we're not really putting our.
We had a guy from San Diego that I never heard of last night.
Yeah. Well, that's what you get. I've never paid any attention to this world
it's
baseball
getting
game
more and
thing
more.
anyway.
It gets bigger every time, and it's massive this time. Let's put it this way: Phoenix and Miami don't have people go to baseball games recently.
Yeah,
and the stadiums were packed.
Yeah,
so it just shows you Miami is a great baseball town. If you quit dicking the fans around, and that is the closest thing to the Atlanta Spirit Group and the Thrashers that any other sport has is the idiots running the Marlins.
Yeah. Thank you, Bink. Binker, the Binkster.
The Binkster.
Give us 3
Binkerizer.
Cheeseburger money. Second best damn podcast in Atlanta. Thanks, boys. I'm hoping he meant yours as being the first. Or maybe he's got his own Bink. Do we know a guy named Bink has a podcast?
I've never heard of Bink.
I don't know Bink, but I'm guessing that you're probably pretty
don't know Bink.
happy with yourself. I don't know Bink.
You don't know Bink.
President showers with daughter is at it again. He is now left, this is last week, left for his 309th day of vacation.
Unbelievable.
Can someone explain actually what he does? He works a 3-day week. He leaves Thursday night or Friday morning, goes to the beach or the beach house, the other house in Delaware, and comes back Monday night or Tuesday, and he works 3 days, and they say, oh, he's always working, you know. Did you know that, and there's a picture of it on Twitter, there's a picture in Russia of their facilities to take care of dementia patients. They are using Joe Biden's picture as their poster for the dementia locations in Russia.
Well, they probably take him to Delaware, put him in a wheelchair, and roll him out to the window so he can stare at the water.
See what's going on. See him,
and he sits there for 3 days.
Yeah, see people feeding the pigeons and stuff, playing with their dogs on the beach. RNC, Biden retreats to Delaware for yet another weekend vacation. His 67th trip to Delaware since taking office. 309 days, 40% of his presidency is vacation.
If Trump had done that?
40% of his presidency is vacation. Banks are failing. Groceries unaffordable. Cartels control our border. Fentanyl flooding our streets. Joe has led a drastic decline by putting America last. How much more damage will he do in the next 2 years? He should have been impeached over the border alone. I mean, this is unbelievable.
This is not incompetence. This is
design. This is how they're doing it.
I was going to say, did you?
Plan.
He didn't come out and say something till this morning. This bank failure happened Friday at noon.
Yeah.
And he didn't come out and say something till 9 o'clock this morning, and he didn't take one question.
Well, I was going to say, he read his answer,
and then went
and
straight
I
for the
promise
door.
you, he had no idea what he was saying.
Did you see how bad he looked this morning?
He left. He left me. Wouldn't answer any questions
got a
because he
bank
can't
failure.
answer any questions.
A bank failure in the United
and a bailout.
States.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Not good. Not good.
It's all by plan, too. You can't replace the system. You can't have a great reset unless you destroy what was there before it.
Well, exactly. That's
What
why they
they're
stopped
doing.
the pipelines and to stop the sell off our oil gas reserves. And I mean, it's on design.
Open the border, let everything collapse.
Oh my God. Let's see. Have we got a bunch of things here? Should we do a little Don Rickles? Flounder found this the other day. It showed up somewhere on the internet. Oh,
I just found it.
Oh no. Well, it reminds me of the time when I was on my R&R. My starter wife and I went to Hawaii for my 5-day or whatever it does break in 1968. And among other things, we saw Engelbert Humperdinck in concert in Hawaii, and we saw Bob Newhart, who was one of my favorite all-time comedians. I used to memorize all his records from the 70s. And also, one of the big stars back then, which we all got a big kick out of and was kind of the showbiz type guy, was Don Rickles. And Don Rickles was, that's right, hockey puck. He was, the short, bad, bald, squat guy with the, rat-a-tat delivery and lots of insults and so forth. And Flounder came across this the other day, and it's fairly short, and it's just an example of what he would do when he would get to places like Vegas or Hawaii or concerts and so forth, and how he would react to the crowd. I thought you might enjoy this.
My heart, this is a long night. I look around this room, and this is the home of the blacks.
The blacks.
And I say 3. And God bless you, black people. I love you. I really do. As you're laughing here, I'm sure one of you guys is up in my hotel room robbing me.
Look at the black guys.
I love how we do that. They turn around and look at the orchestra and go, is he smiling?
Yeah, right.
Is he smiling?
And I saw him do that. And part of that, I think it was the same concert. I remember this from like 40 years ago when I saw it, was he said, ladies and gentlemen, I would also like to know, as you know, I'm Jewish. And in the world today, and you know, it was in the 70s, in the world today, we have a lot of trouble over in the Middle East. And he said, I just want you to know, in the audience tonight, are gentlemen with their headdresses on from Saudi Arabia and Qatar and so forth. Gentlemen, would you, just to show we all get along together, you're enjoying the show, please, gentlemen, stand up, like that. And they stood up and they go, open fire, open fire. It's like that, and people are yelling and screaming. But you couldn't even joke about things like that today. And Don Rickles, I guess he's still alive too. And
Don Rickles has been dead for years.
Has he? How about Bob Newhart's still with us?
Yes, he's still with us.
Okay, that's what I was thinking of. Anyway, so there you go.
Well, the good thing with Rickles, he was doing all his stuff to the very end.
Yeah.
He didn't compromise.
Well, either some of them did. Gilbert Gottfried, and who we just lose also, who never, who kept, anyway, I can't think of it, whatever. Speaking of death, now you tell me. Researchers have found that long-term evidence proves that if you just actively monitor your prostate cancer, you just have to monitor it. You don't really have to get all that surgery and radiation, so you don't have to worry about becoming impotent or incontinent or things like that.
You're supposed to finger yourself?
Monitor it, yeah. If you monitor it, it's not really a thing.
Still there.
Okay, now, first of all, on the prostate cancer, it is true that if all men lived to be 100, all men would have prostate cancer when they died. They may not know it. My father got prostate cancer when he was 86. And the doctor said, well, I'll give you a couple of pills, and you're not going to get surgery at the age of 86. What's the problem? You could live 10 years with it, and it's no big deal. Which, for most slow-growing prostate cancers, that's partly reasonable. The problem is, if you have a fast one like I did, mine exploded outside the image of the gland itself, so we had to act fast because it was a fast mover. It was up very high on the active chart. But anyway, and I had not only the surgery but also the chemo and the 5 weeks of radiation every day, which wouldn't be a big deal. I didn't really care that much about it, but it definitely messes you up. And now they're saying, well, if you just kind of keep cool on it, you don't really have to get all that stuff. Because it might really mess you up. And I remember one of the first things they told me, said after you got treatment, said, now for a while, at least for a while, make sure you don't cough too hard or sneeze too hard or laugh too hard. Because if you do, you may have a little something come flying out somewhere that shouldn't. Of your thing. Anyway, I'm just saying.
You mean
it was a whole thing.
A shart?
A shart. or a pee. But you could take a little pee. And again, if you've had prostate cancer, if you get a warning that you need to have to do something, do it. Don't say, oh, I can wait till we get home. No. So anyway.
So basically, put the pins on.
Yeah, right. Yeah, don't be messing around with anything. But I was lucky. I came out way better than most. A couple things. Atlanta's mayor has announced the appointment of the brand new Equity Chief Officer for the City of Atlanta. The Chief Equity Officer, a senior-level cabinet position, will work to prioritize equity, social justice, diversity, and inclusion. Wow, we finally made it in Atlanta.
Communism. That's like right out of the Soviet or the French Revolution.
Remember, thank God, finally, you black people have a chance to come out the same as those white people. I mean, think about it. You're black. You can't really get the same breaks. Everybody, you're not going to get the same in school.
Not in Atlanta.
But now they're going to make sure that you're the same as those white people. God bless you. I mean, you must be so proud to know that, hey, I'm black, therefore they're going to make me equal.
Why would a black person in Atlanta want to be equal with white people?
Oh, they're way
The black people
more
have run
important
Atlanta since the 70s.
Yeah, white people have no say what's going on in Atlanta. Since
very
Mayor
little.
Jackson.
They're the minority.
Yeah, again, Sam Massell was the little Jewish mayor of Buckhead, mayor of Atlanta when I got here, and replaced by Maynard Jackson. And
ever since then,
they've been the ball
just
game.
passed the baton to one crook.
Well, Bill Campbell, another crook, went to prison.
Another carpetbagger crook.
Tried to pick up my wife.
Asshole.
Anyway. I used to drive by my house in Brookhaven to see if you could spot her at the pool, I think. But anyway.
Wait a minute.
Hold on.
You said that about the other guy, too.
They all, the one who you became congressman.
Every black
They both did.
politician in Metro Atlanta drove by your house.
They did.
To see if your wife was outside.
Well, they saw her once, and they never forgot it.
Okay.
Anyway, speaking of kink, the military academies have reported that sexual assaults are way up again. First, I don't believe how anybody lets this happen, but here we go. Overall, like 20% jump in rapes and molesting and assaults, mostly by the Navy, had double the number they had the year before. From touching to rape at all the schools. They say booze is pretty much a factor. The Naval Academy reported 61 rapes or assaults, Air Force Academy 52, West Point 42. And the first thing I thought of was, I'm not really, when they say unwanted touching or whatever, and if guys with a cadet girl and cadet guy and they're at a party and they get drunk and he tries to feel her up or something, I mean, that's bad and it's one thing. But still, I don't understand how the military academies could let any of this happen. If any of this happens, whoosh, you're out and you go right into the enlisted service. If you go to the Naval Academy, my understanding is if you go to the Naval Academy and you flunk out, which a lot of them do, you're in the Navy. You still have to serve 6 years of reserves or something, even though you're not an officer. I don't know what the goals are now, but even so, I can't. If I sent my daughter to the Naval Academy or the West Point or whatever, or Coast Guard, whatever, and she was raped, I'd want to know how the hell it's possible that under military discipline that women who go there to be in the military can be so disrespected or disregarded that they would allow to be raped, that it could even happen. Anyway,
it sounds like they're tougher.
I don't know, it's the military.
They're tougher on DUIs than they are on rape.
Well, I think they're also lowering the stand. I think they can't. The Army's way down, like 40% enlistments or something. I don't blame them, and I'm sure the Marines are down too. Who'd want to join now after what they did in Afghanistan? I didn't even remember talking about much about what Afghanistan thing, but. And I hope those families sue all those generals who made those silly Millie.
You can't sue them.
Pedicure general. Anyway, okay.
But if you protest outside their house, they'll lock you up.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, they did. That kid who, the high school kid at a Catholic school complained that he was protesting to say that there's a difference between men and women, and he got arrested.
That was Canada, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah. But again, it was a Christian Catholic got arrested for saying men and women are different. And they was disturbing the peace of the people who don't believe that, so they arrested him, took him away. Oh, my God. All right, hold on a second, dear Abby, and birthdays. And Pete's got, I think, a little something here you wanted to mention before. Are we all caught up on you and everything?
No.
Whatever. But first, I want to brag about my buddies at Swap My Whip. I mentioned my car thing just a minute ago. I had to make some calls. SwapMyWhip.com. What a great idea this is. If you're driving along and you've always wanted a 89 Camaro or so whatever, and you see one, you go, oh man, I've always wanted that car. Go to swapmywhip.com, and you might find like-minded car owners with a car that they've had for a while and like, but they're ready to trade it for something. If they can find something they've always wanted, and maybe you're driving it, or your buddy is, or you get in touch with them and they say, I've always wanted a so-and-so, make your own deals. There's no car salesman, there's no dealership, there's no middleman. It's all right there, right in front of you, and you might find what you've always wanted and make your own deal. What a great idea. SwapMyWhip.com. Whip, of course, another colloquial phrase for a car or a ride. And it's not just cars, trucks, SUVs, boats, jet skis, off-road vehicles, ATVs, go-karts, probably fancy bicycles, maybe electric scooters. If it runs and rides, the chances are you can make a deal with it. Check it out yourself. Use the coupon code KIMMER, KIMMER, for 180 days of free premium listings on SwapMyWhip.com. Let's see. A quick Dear I like to read Dear Abby things occasionally, and this is one I had today. This I wonder whether this is a fake, but it scares the crap out of me. And again, we talked about this last week. I would no longer be a 20-year-old today if I had a choice. Would you like to be a 20-year-old today?
Knowing what I know now, yeah.
Well, if you go back, pretend to go back to high school, sure, yeah. But I mean, all right, let's say 24, yes. You're out of college today. Would you like to be 22 or 23 today? I don't know. Maybe I was brought up with it, but not really.
Not without knowing what you know now.
Yeah.
Why? Why would you? This is your life.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, this is what bothers me about this. May be true and it may be a thing because of what modern society is doing with lack of standards and whatever else is going on. Social media. There's got to be cell phone, social media stuff. Dear Abby, I'm a 14-year-old freshman who had an abortion last year. I'm not sure who the father is, and I don't want to go through that again. I want to get birth control, but I'm afraid my parents or my older brother will find out. They would kill me. I already have a bad reputation, and I don't want a worse one by having someone find out I was pregnant. What would be the safest way for someone my age to get birth control? I know you'll probably say no sex is the best, but I enjoy it too much now. It's like a habit. Please help. Grown-up girl in Rhode Island. 14. Already had her first abortion. Dear girl, I have never heard of a girl in this country being killed just because she's had sex, so your fears about your parents doing that may be overblown. That seems like kind of a stupid first response.
How many times do you hear about these honor killings?
Yeah, I know. Well, in America, somebody been in America, but still, it happened recently. Yeah, people who come here from Saudi Arabia, whatever. Anyway, I've never known a country done so. Your fears may be overblown. I think that's the wrong first answer. She continues. Your mom may not be thrilled with the news, but she won't kill you. You need her and her guidance. Capital letters. You need her and her guidance. If you continue on the path you're on, having sex with multiple boys, you may have more to worry about than becoming pregnant again. Some of the sexually transmitted diseases around today could cause you to become sterile at a time when you may want a child. An organization called Planned Parenthood can provide you with birth control. It can also inform you about STDs, how to avoid them, because you feel you cannot stop yourself from having sex. Contact Planned Parenthood as soon as possible. So she says go to Planned Parenthood, 14-year-old girl.
They'll give her a lecture at 14. I mean, I don't know if they still do that. They did back in the day when...
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Of course,
but even the thought
17,
of it,
18.
the very freaking thought of it. And again, it reminds me. Is this still International Women's Month or Month of the Woman? I think it's still Women's Month or something. I'm not sure. I got confused.
They've had their time of the month.
I got confused because International Women's Day was when they made a man Woman of the Year at the White House. But it reminds me about sometimes just communicating from female to female can be very, very difficult. Yeah. For example, and speaking of young girls who are being sexually active. Very famous conversation between a mother and her 18-year-old daughter. And the young girl says, Mom, I've been going out with our longtime next-door neighbor for a while now. The mom says, honey, he could be your father. The teenage daughter says, Mom, when people are in love, age doesn't matter. The mom says, no, honey, you misunderstand. He could be your father. Sorry. Just communication issue.
You've done that a couple times.
Well, I did that a couple of years ago. Of course, you remember everything. I got the data. Let me give you the date on that. I think the date on that was 2021 or 20. I think I can't remember. Anyway, some birthdays of note. William H. Macy, 73 years old today. Wow. Dana Delaney. Ooh. I used to like her on China Beach and all those other. She's done a lot of things.
She was in Tombstone.
Yeah, but China Beach was 40 years ago. No, maybe probably 80s, I guess. Probably
90s, right?
Was it 90s? God. Dana Delaney, 67. Common, who is I've seen him, but I don't know what he's a singer, a rapper.
He was in Hell on Wheels.
And he's
an actor, not a very good actor.
He was in one of the John Wick. One of the John Wick.
Oh, is he the guy behind the counter?
No, he's the black
or the
guy.
Killer?
He's the black guy who what's the hot chick's name who's in the third one?
Yeah, okay. You haven't seen John
Wick?
Wick?
I haven't seen any of them.
Who cared? Well, whatever.
I know who you mean now, yeah. Isn't he a rapper? Wasn't he first a rapper?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Bald guy.
All right, Neil Sedaka. I always thought he was gay. Neil Sedaka's a family man. He's 84 years old. And he talks like this, and he sings like this. He's very good. Neil Sedaka talks like this. I'm Neil Sedaka, and whenever I'm in Atlanta, I never miss the Kimmer Show podcast. Neil Sedaka's 84 today. He wrote 500 songs, including for every group you've probably ever heard of. And Neil Sedaka's first group was the Tokens, who sang "The Lion Sleeps Tonight." That one. The lion sleeps tonight. Thank you. He was with the Tokens. Danny Masterson from the 70s show is 47 today.
Allegedly.
What?
He's a rapist.
A rapist? Yeah, that's right.
He's not working anymore.
That's right.
He's been on trial for like 9 years, or how long has this thing been going?
Yeah. Adam Clayton from U2 is 64. Coco Gauff, remember her, the little tennis chickie? She became real famous like at 14 or something. She's I think won another tournament. She's been kind of lacking wins for a while, but she's back in the news. Tennis star Coco Gauff is 20 today. The luscious Michaela Schifrin, 28 years old. She won. She finally set the record. Won her event. And God, she's a good-looking woman. She's got to be all rock hard muscle, though. You know it? No, I just you ever.
Yeah.
A rock hard jock athlete muscle girl.
Well, the closest I came, my high school sweetheart, she didn't work out or wasn't very athletic or anything. Joined the Navy.
Yeah.
Went to basic. For how long did they go? 6-8 weeks or something?
In Navy, probably 8 weeks, maybe 10
in Orlando.
Yeah.
Came back in the shape of her life. It was like a different woman.
Really?
It was amazing.
And did you jokingly notice about
yeah.
soft curves as opposed to hard rock curves now?
She was waiting for me to notice, and it was like very quickly.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I had one date with a girl weightlifter once because I put an ad in the paper. I was looking for dates, and I described myself and I liked petite, athletic, whatever. I forgot what it said. But spinners. And this one girl replied and said that she enjoyed lifting weights and she was athletic and she loved to go canoeing or whatever it was. And she showed up and she was about 5'3" and 170 or something. I mean, she was a brick solid.
Fire plug.
So that was pretty funny. Coochie, coochie, coochie. Do you know you ever heard that sound?
Charo.
The coochie, coochie. Charo. Flounder, have you ever heard the name Charo? Coochie, coochie. The coochie, coochie girl.
Is she
You should Google her. You'd have fun Googling her. Charo.
She's a famous guitar player, isn't she?
She plays.
Well, she did.
She does.
She was on one of the reality shows.
Oh, boy, that's the last way anybody my age would remember the name of the girl Charo. That's true. With Vincent
Xavier
Cugat, who was a 85-year-old
band leader,
band leading hound dog in Hollywood.
She was what, 18?
And Charo was like 18, and she was from Argentina or Colombia or someplace in Tijuana. And she was a hot blonde lady, looked like Bridget Bardot almost, flashy blonde, big boobs, and she coochie coochie girl, coochie coochie, and she was all just everywhere, like Carmen Miranda, and she could play the guitar. But she was known just as a side girl, a celebrity who showed up with Xavier Cugat with his band stuff. Anyway, Charo is 72 years old today. I thought she'd be way older than that because she'd been around for 60 years.
She was young.
A couple of historical notes, if you don't mind. 1997, I just saw a special on this the other night, the mysterious Phoenix Lights. Have you ever heard of that? Thousands of people, including the governor of Arizona in 1967, saw these astounding V-shaped light patterns over the skies of Phoenix, Arizona. And it was clearly not a government test plane or balloons or something. It was UFOs like crazy. And I just saw on one of those famous mysteries, hosted by the black guy who went to prison for taxes, Lawrence Olivier, and Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah, Lawrence Olivier.
Fishburne. And he did the one on the Phoenix Lights, and I just watched it again, and they still haven't proved one from the other.
He went to prison?
I thought didn't he go to prison for tax evasion?
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes,
You really are getting your black guys mixed up today.
Well, the brothers, I'm trying. I got that little name thing. I got the names wrong. 1942, the beginning of the Canine Corps. And our friend Denise told us this is Canine Veterans Day. Good. This today, 1942, was the beginning of the Canine Corps for World War II, training dogs to carry messages, scout dogs to warn of the enemy, and prove man's best friend is there with you. 1925, the Butler Act goes into effect, banning the teaching of evolution in the Tennessee school system. It stayed on the books in Tennessee, not teaching evolution, stayed on the books till 1967. God. 1948, historians called this the last of the Old West. A mountain mining town called Bingham Canyon in Utah is the last town in the Old West to make it illegal to walk around with a gun unless you have a license. Every town in the Old West would let you have a gun. The last one to prevent it was in 1948, the mountain town in Utah, where all of a sudden now you had to be like everybody else because, we weren't the frontiersmen anymore. 1660. This is an important date. 1660. This white supremacist nation passed a state law limiting slavery in the colony of Virginia. So there, banning slavery in 1660 Virginia.
Didn't take.
Well, it didn't take that well, but at least they tried. But they did it. They said, we're not here to have slaves, so they banned it. Now, unfortunately, on the very same day, that was 1660, on the very same day, 205 years later, Jefferson Davis signed a bill that allowed slaves to be used as soldiers for the Confederacy for the cannon fire. So, 1988. Porn star John Holmes died of AIDS. Holmes was 43, the king of porn back then, appeared in more than 1,000 films, skankalukalated at least 10,000 women. John Holmes dropped out of high school to join the Army. He served in Germany, and he died in a veterans hospital of AIDS. Holmes was married for 20 years to the same woman, his wife Sharon saying she never saw any of his movies, but she said, well, the money was good. He used to get $2,000 a day. In 1981, John Holmes was charged with killing one of the 4 people murdered at a party house in Los Angeles, something Canyon place there. But a jury found him not guilty. John Holmes did spend 111 days in jail, though, for contempt because he refused to identify the killers for fear they'd kill him, too. I remember in the movie about him, they showed them. I mean, that was so... man. And anyway, this was the day he ended it all. Yeah.
Are you tired of arriving to surprises at your weekend cabin?
Well, I hate it. I can't get anything done. I don't know what's going up there. Maybe something's not locked.
Have a mountain home you're having trouble maintaining?
I am.
Well, call North Georgia Intendancy. We can manage your North Central Georgia vacation, weekend, or rental house so you relax at yours. Visit us at ngaintendancy.com or call 770-595-6664. That's 770-595-6664 for NGA Intendancy.
Now, tell me about your new house. Are you all unpacked?
No, I'm not even close to be on. We're talking years, decades of stuff.
Oh, my God.
That I've got to go through and give away and put in different packages and collate, and it's overwhelming. It was what
I'm actually thinking of doing some kind of a
start doing
flea
it now.
market. What do you call it? Not a flea market. What do you call it?
Well, no, it's like,
sell all your crap.
Start going through it, but like Pete said, do a box a weekend.
But I don't know what I've got stuff I've had my whole trophies. Who cares about my trophies?
now-
Well, the first thing to start on is go through the box. What do you want to keep and what don't you want to keep?
I know.
Yeah, just throw away the trash. If you don't start now, you're gonna have to do it in a rush at some point in the future, and you don't want to do that.
Well, I'm just hoping my when I die, my kids will have to go through all of it, like I had to go through my parents' stuff. Oh my God, my father, he must in his desk, he must have had 400 pens.
I know.
I mean,
I have more dishes.
Oh
I will never use all these dishes, but I won't get rid of them.
I've got pots and pans I've never seen in the back of the.
Knife collections.
I could fulfill a whole
knife collection's never been opened.
I've got an expensive case of steak knives that are so fancy. My daughter Jennifer said, "Oh God, I wish I could afford ones like that." They were a gift from my mother 60 years ago, and
Wolfgang
they're like the
Puck.
famous stainless something special, probably $400, steak knives.
My mom wouldn't throw stuff away. She wasn't a hoarder, but she would organize stuff. She would.
Yeah.
And when she passed away, my dad was going through her stuff, and he went through this one box, and it was every letter he wrote to her when he was in Vietnam, and he had no idea that she kept them.
My mother kept every one of my letters from Vietnam.
Both of them?
All 2 of them. Yeah. Very funny.
Mom, I'm leaving. Mom, I'm coming home.
She kept all those letters from Vietnam. And in fact, that reminds what I saw something the other day on was a feed several weeks ago, and I thought was really cool. There was a picture on the Facebook page of a lamp, of a big, lamp without the shade on it. Or maybe I made a shade on it. And there was a lamp, fairly good sized lamp, like so. And it had things stuck on it. It had gum and a toothpick and a comb and a key and a dollar bill. And I mean, just everything totally filled. Every possible thing on that lamp was covered, the space covered with some knick-knack object on the lamp. And the caption said, it was from a mother. And she said, I gave this to my son on the day he went away to college. This is everything I've ever taken out of his pants when he put the clothes into the laundry. As a kid, growing up as a kid. And she saved all those things and glued them to a lamp to take to college of all the crap, toys, things he had in his pockets as a kid. How cool is that?
How much crap he probably took?
Well, I know, but still, just thinking of, I thought, God, I wish, what a great gift that would have been to your kid going away. You know what? Really,
Not to college, though.
No, well, no. I mean, whatever. A birthday, 18th birthday. 21st birthday.
Or first place they move into, first apartment or whatever.
First house, first apartment.
Here's a lamp.
But again, and again, there ought to be. Wouldn't it be fun to have maybe there should be an app or something to say, I need a good idea. I got nothing, and I need a good idea, and have a place where you can get good ideas.
It's called the internet.
Should we start that? No. Yeah, but it's got to be an app. Like, need a good idea. Boom.
Who's going to come up with these good ideas?
I don't know. Not me, obviously. I had my good idea right there.
That
it's
was
your
it.
turn. I did, right? That was my good idea. Oh, God. Anyway.
Remember last week we were talking about William Henry Harrison?
Yes, William and Harrison and Tyler too, or Tippecanoe and Tyler
and
too.
the 2-hour speech he gave for his inauguration.
And
got a cold and died from it.
Yeah.
They got a T-shirt out with his photo on it, and it says, "Has anyone seen my coat? Actually, never mind. I'll be fine." All right, here's something else I found in my pile of crap.
Oh, boy.
This is a story from 2005.
Yeah.
All right? The last great year. Here's the headline. This is 2005, so what's 18 years ago?
Yeah.
French men yearn for pregnancy. Almost 40% of French men say they would like to become pregnant.
Oh, now that.
This is from Children's Magazine, by the way.
18 years ago from Children's Magazine.
They'd like to carry one of their offspring to term.
Oh, come on.
So where you got to wonder all this BS is coming from? It's been coming up for a while now. Several generations of men have been turned into beta males, basically.
Well, we know that's true. Take a look at what's going on.
Okay, here's Larry Wax, good friend Larry.
We remember Larry very well.
Larry.
That
Larry
one
the
bad
regular
thing he
guy.
did. Other than that, he's fine.
He's a great guy.
I was good.
We're not going to say what he did.
I almost hit him. I almost had to hit him.
But he didn't.
But he tried to make up to me. It's fine. I'm saying it's fine. Larry's fine.
Larry is.
I almost hit him.
Larry is he's not a Republican or Democrat or Libertarian. Larry's a contrarian.
He's a curmudgeon, yeah.
Oh, yeah, like you would know.
I would know.
You would know.
You would know. God, you're number one, Pally boy.
Let's take a poll.
Oh, you are
Who's
way
the
more of a
bigger
curmudgeon. Oh, my
curmudgeon?
God. Every time I say it, nobody wants to hear that.
I'm just correcting you.
Oh,
I'm
my
sorry.
God.
Anyway, so Larry's on Twitter under House of Wax.
Yeah.
WACHS.
Yeah,
And
wax.
every once in a while, I'll tweet something, and
Don't
he'll
step
put
on down
out.
power lines, you know.
Yeah, that's right. He'll put out a contrarian opinion.
He will do that, yeah.
Well, so I posted about the umpire.
Yeah. He could. He can make a contrary opinion of that issue.
Here's what he wrote back. Who cares? 7-3 college game. I'll bet that fool kid will shut his mouth when he disagrees with the umpire next time.
Well, that's true.
To which the responses were, "That's a really bad take, dude."
Right.
And one guy just wrote back, "Die."
We just have a different way of looking at things. I don't get any of this.
Did you hear about the guy that got caught stealing a calendar?
I wonder what his sentence was.
They got 12 months.
12 months, I wondered what it was, yes. Well, I used to be addicted to brake fluid, but I can stop any time. So
Okay. The Boston Bruins won the Stanley Cup in 2011.
All right.
They went and got liquor for the party. All right, let me find the bill here. How much do you think the bill was?
In 2000.
Now, remember, hockey teams aren't very large.
10 years ago? Is that what you
12 years ago.
12 years ago.
Yeah.
They went out to buy liquor to celebrate The winning of the
Stanley Cup.
Stanley Cup?
Yeah.
Well, several $100s. I mean, probably
Higher.
by 30 guys.
Higher.
20.
It's not 30 guys on a hockey team.
Well, I mean, the
You
staff,
can only play, what, 5 at a time,
all the
right?
people in the locker room, there's going to be more than 10 guys drinking. I mean, it's, the staff and the people and the coach.
okay.
Well, wait, let's say 20.
30.
Hey,
20.
a couple of grand, at least a couple of grand.
Higher.
Well, I'm sorry, higher? Oh,
Higher.
7,000.
That's how the high-low game
$12,000.
Higher.
$14,000.
Higher.
$21,000.
Higher.
$84,000.
Higher.
$160,000.
It's $156,000 was their bar.
Was it Cristal by the case?
Bacardi, Red Bull, Kamikaze, Goose, Jaeger bombs, Crown, Cap Morgan, Grey Goose, more Bacardi, Jack Daniels, different kinds, Patron, Hennessy, Bud Light, Coors Light, Amstel Light, Corona, Heineken, Blue Moon, Champagne, Ace of Spade, Moet Champagne, Ace Champagne,
Moet,
another Moet or whatever.
Yeah.
It goes on and on and on.
Two
and on.
different Moets, by the way. Go ahead.
By the way, it was $2,000. The Ace Mag, a Magnum,
Yeah.
was $2,000. They got 2 of those.
What liquor store had all? It must have been 5 liquor stores.
It was the MGM Grand at Foxwoods in Mashantucket, Connecticut.
Oh wow, yeah, it's a gambling golf course area
Yeah.
down there too.
It was
I'll be damned.
$156,000.
Willikers, that's a lot.
That's just unbelievable.
Yeah, that's not normal.
Okay, name me here. Okay, the last time both participants in a World Series were making their first appearance in a World Series.
The last time 2 teams or
No,
players?
the last time that either one of those teams was making their first appearance in a World Series.
Oh,
How long
first
did they
time?
go before this happened?
Probably Miami his whole their whole
Miami?
life.
Okay. The first World Series was about 1903.
All right.
The first one where that happened was 1906, the Cubs and the White Sox. Every World Series since then has had at least one participant in the World Series before.
In the past, I'll be damned. So who's out?
Isn't that weird?
Has everybody been in the World
The
Series?
Marlins have won 2.
Have the Rockies?
Rockies
who
went
has
to
not,
1, but they lost.
Who hasn't won? Who hasn't been? Who hasn't
Who
even
has
been
not
in the World
been
Series?
to a World Series? That would be, what do we have? Diamondbacks
They
have
may
been.
Maybe the Angels. Have the Angels ever been? I don't
Yes,
think the Angels.
won. They beat the Giants. They beat Barry Bonds and the Giants.
Oh,
That was Dusty Baker. Remember the little kid at the home plate and all that?
I was listening
That
to
was
Sports Guy.
2002 because we were in New Orleans for a Falcons game when I saw that.
They were talking some people over the weekend. Some about how about I think it's the Cleveland Browns have not been in a Super Bowl.
The Indians have won a World Series, but the Browns have never been in a Super Bowl. No.
Of course, they were one of the main teams before they called it the Super Bowl, but they were not. But they have not.
I think
been
every
in a Super
major
Bowl.
league team's been in, right?
I thought
Tampa
there were
Bay's been in, Colorado's been in, Minnesota's been in, Atlanta's been in.
Texas, Houston. I don't think it's been in.
What are you talking about? The Houston Astros are the world
Oh,
champions.
I'm talking football. I thought you were talking about the
We're
NFL.
talking about World Series.
Oh,
here.
okay. No, I thought there was a team that
Focus.
had not been in the World Series, and you may be.
I can't think of one that has not been in the World Series.
Milwaukee has, back when they were the.
Yeah. By the way, there's a rumor that the Brewers might be leaving Milwaukee.
Really? A small park?
Can you
Kind of-
imagine Nashville or Charlotte having a team?
Yeah, I mean those are two. I mean, those are 2 big cities in the South. Yeah, I think they should definitely have. I mean, Charlotte has a great minor league baseball team in their downtown area.
Yeah, Nashville has a long history too.
Yeah. Either one of those cities
They're
would
growing.
handle it.
Okay. In 1781 on this day, or actually it was yesterday, William Herschel saw what he thought was a comet, but actually he discovered Uranus.
Oh, I remember that on this very day. That was the first planet discovered with a telescope. Every other planet was named by human eye. The first telescope seeing a planet they hadn't seen before was Uranus.
Uranus. Uranus. Was it next to the black hole?
It was right next to the expanding black hole. Okay. Shrouded, fur-bearing, carnivorous animal
We
that
had
hovers 3 feet off the ground.
They come in threes.
Yeah.
Then I was watching this. Jesus Alou, the youngest of the Alou brothers, Maddie and Felipe, passed away. Then a few minutes later, I heard that Otis Taylor died.
That's right. I saw that. I read that.
Great
Famous,
Chiefs wide receiver.
Kansas City
He
Chiefs.
had the thing of he would jump up in the air and catch the pass.
He
it was really
was-
cool.
yeah.
And then Bud Grant passed away.
Minnesota Vikings.
95.
Yeah. He was a funny man. He I don't think he ever smiled. Did he ever have a smile on his face?
When they interviewed him afterwards, he had a great sense of humor, but he didn't
Boy,
show
he was-
it.
yeah.
He was that stoic Wisconsin, Minnesota type
Yeah,
guy.
well,
he was perfect for
Perfect place for it.
Perfect. All right, and the National City Teacher of the Year in the San Francisco Bay Area is a little cutie, little porky, little Asian chick. Was arrested for having sex with one of her underage boys there.
Oh, boy.
And then rearrested a few days later for child porn possession.
Oh my! Well, she's Asian, cutie. Yeah, yeah. Oh, what? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, arrested.
Good kissers.
Another Teacher of the Year award.
Yeah, they have a little vertical thing going there. It's unusual.
They're all vertical.
No, not the way I.
You're talking about pupils,
No,
right?
no, yeah,
like
they're-
cats.
No, it's just they're
like
Their
cats.
fingertips are all vertical.
All right, we'll just move on here. Find us the Bad Text Theater there.
Yes, the last
while
link.
I read you the truly tasteless joke of the day.
There
This
you
is a
are.
good one. It may be a little blue, so you may want to watch
Warning
the
in
kids here.
advance.
Jack and Jill went up the hill riding on a donkey. Jill got off to help Jack off the donkey.
Oh, hey, hi-oh. The donkey's name was Jack.
No.
Jack's name was Jack, and the donkey's name was off. I don't know.
Let's just keep moving.
Saturday, March 4th.
Saturday, March 4th.
Saturday, March 4th.
What are you, Ed McMahon?
Yes, I am.
May a diseased camel leave a present in your dune buggy.
Molest your daughter at the prom.
By the way, going through my boxes, I found 2 unopened DVD box sets of the best animal bloopers on Johnny Carson.
Oh, really?
And the
Oh,
best bloopers of Johnny Carson.
no
I'm
kidding.
looking forward.
Those
I
are
can find my
hysterical.
Xbox to slip those suckers in there
Those
and
were
watch
Bring
them.
them here. I can get them. I can get them MP3'd for you.
Those were pretty funny.
We have to think about that. March 4th, Saturday. All right, is this the text?
Yeah, it's the grow older.
All right. At some point, there has to be so are you going to the wife or the husband? Oh, no, we already did that one. Okay, oh, yeah. Maybe no, we did that one, remember?
The older. Then it's the therapist.
We're the therapist and the patient.
I'll be the patient.
I'm the therapist.
You're the therapist.
Your problem is you're obsessed with vengeance.
Oh, we'll see about that.
Yes. Hoorah!
We'll see about it.
That's what you think. Nice family you got there. Anyway, God bless America.
Kevin
Yes.
says that the reason that planet was discovered with a telescope was because every other planet didn't have a telescope.
Oh, thank you. Well, there you are. See? Thank you. That's the kind of entertainment you get, people, with helping us out to keep this going. God bless America. Hoorah. Semper Fi. I got to go. You're killing me. And I just did the thing. Hurt, man. Hurt. Well, I got